Hey, good evening and welcome. My name is Rob, aka Lantern Noir, and tonight we are not playing Dungeons and Dragons. We're changing it up just a pinch. We are going to take a stab at Kids on Brooms, since we are down one of our regular players, and instead we are going to be bringing in a guest to fill out the table, and take a stab at more of a narrative-based game and less of a conflict-based one. So we'll see how this evening goes. If suddenly the headmaster should drop from the stream, leaving these four unattended, I will be okay. We have oxygen on the house. My teenager will take over the controls, and they're just going to keep playing without me. But it is a non-zero possibility. If you do not see the teenager within 60 seconds, Tiffany, your job is to call the house. You're the closest. So, yeah, because that's a thing. Anyway, enough about me and my ailments. We should go around the table and introduce ourselves. Let's not talk about who we're playing just yet, but I am curious as to everybody's first experience with the wizarding world of Harry Potter. What was your entry point into that fandom, as it were? Since I pitched this and all of you went, yes, I assume there's some level of fandom attached to it. So, Tiffany, you've got the front seat. Why don't you go ahead?
Right. Hi, I'm Tiffany, or TS. And oh my gosh, when the books first came out, somebody pointed my direction. It was fantasy and a really big book on magic. So what was not to like? Plus, I do quite like Britain stuff. And then, yeah, I don't know. I do know that my husband got obsessed with all of the offshoots of like Harry Potter or whatever and Harry Potter. So we like read all of that stuff when it first came out. So yeah, we were hard in. And I even have a wand right here that I just love.
Ooh,
I'm ready.
We are
I don't know if
ready.
you want something else.
Cool. NLK?
Hello, I am Nightlight Night or NLK here on Twitch. And my introduction to Harry Potter was actually visiting my grandparents up in Pennsylvania. And I got handed the first book. And just all I remember from the rest of that trip was just reading Harry Potter. Like I was just sitting out on their like little porch. And just plowed through the book. I think I probably finished the first book within like 3 days, maybe. I don't even know. Just absolutely plowed through it, but loved the story, loved the world, and it felt because I was about the same age as Harry, but I think a little bit older. But you know, the angst. I understood the angst.
That's fair. That's fair. Graybeard?
Oh, I almost launched into my normal my normal intro. Anyway, Harry Potter. I have technically never read a Harry Potter book, but I have had some of the Harry Potter books read to me by a significant other. I've seen all the movies, of course, and I visited the it's not Orlando. The theme park. I went to the theme park, and that was pretty amazing. Everyone got wands at Ollivander's, and it was I would 10 out of 10 tell everyone to go hit that up if ever they can get the means to do that. So yeah, I like it, but I'm just a
Casual fan. Cool. And last but not least, Molly?
Hi everybody, I'm Barely Molly, and my first introduction to Harry Potter is actually very strange. I too have never read the books because when I was a kid, we were going to watch the movies at a friend's sleepover and the power went out. So instead of watching it, she got up and for like the rest of the night did a count by count retelling of the books for us. And it was so like I know that sounds like wild, but we were kids and like she would get people up to like reenact stuff with her. So we all became part of it. And it was so fun and so cool. And after that, I went home and watched I think there were only a couple of the movies out, but we reenacted like all the way up to where the books were at that point. And it got me totally hooked and I was so in. But a lot of my information is through a middle school child's retelling, so I don't know if it's wholly accurate. I did watch all the movies eventually, but sometimes my memory's fuzzy with the details.
Cool. My name is Rob, aka Lantern Noir, and I'm here a lot. And if you have not, you should check out the links in the chat to all of these amazing streamers. The one I did not get in there, and I would be remiss not to, is my buddy Graybeard. Not only is he here filling in tonight, he and I do a twice monthly podcast about D&D matters. We actually ran a rerun this month, but it seemed relevant because as I'm starting my professional DMing, I went back and rebroadcast the episode where we first talked about professional DMing. And I think my exact words were, "It's not a thing I could ever do." So please enjoy it in its irony. So there's that. But okay, so before we sat down tonight, the plan for this evening is pretty straightforward. We've got 2 sessions set out to explore Kids on Brooms as a group. The fates willing, will actually want to keep playing after tonight because I don't know what we're going to do next week if we decide we don't. But the first part tonight is getting through the character creation. Now, Kids on Brooms is based on Kids on Bikes, which came out a few years back. I was lucky enough to get the Kickstarter, so I have the hardback copy. By the way, Tiffany, did you get your new copy of Kids on Brooms?
Do I have a new copy?
You should check your porch.
I have been home for like half an hour. So
when you get free, send a house elf to check your porch. You have a brand spanking new copy
to check it
to make up for the fact that you lent me yours.
You know,
and it's pristine.
That is yours now.
Yes, because I'm going to break the bindings on this thing, so
Good.
I'll buy you a new one.
Okay, like you did not have to do that because it was like, we know we have it. Where is it?
And that's what makes it a nice gesture when you don't have to do it. That's kind of the fun part about gesture. Anyway, so we talked a little bit before we sat down. We kind of talked on our Discord about what tropes we were going to be playing as tonight. And part of these games is you don't have a character class, you have the trope you play into. And what I think will be another good round at the table now is who we came up with as a character. And again, what made us think this was going to be an interesting trope to play into, and what you're most excited to explore with it tonight. Because I do think that's an important thing to talk about. Because one thing I want to get at the very beginning, this is a shared storytelling experience far more than it is a game to win and lose. There's no initiative trackers, no hit points to track. We're just going to sit down and we're going to riff off each other for the next 3 hours. So it should be a good time. We're going to go back and around the table the opposite direction. And so, Molly, what character did you kind of kick around as your character trope? And what are you excited to explore with it?
I picked the Reluctant Oracle, mostly just because I liked the way it sounded when reading off the list of things you can choose. But I just like the idea of a reluctant, or like someone who's getting like visions or premonitions and being like, no, I'm not about this. I'm really not about this right now. And also, like, if we are playing, like, I mean, the kids are, like, adolescent kids. I love the idea of, like, a teenager being like, I just can't deal with this right now. I know I just got a premonition that is really important that I tell people, but I have things going on. I have, like, a math test on Wednesday. I can't deal with this, okay? I just think that's, like, a really fun idea. But I named her Lenora Birch, because that felt very British. Perhaps.
Fair. Graybeard, how about you, sir?
I'm playing the offbeat eccentric. And again, I kind of chose it as, I picked 3 and then kind of weaseled it down to that one as it kind of called to me, I guess, just to be the lost Luna Lovegood character who just kind of is all spacey, because way too often I play the haunted, the edgelord sad boy, and so I didn't want to do that tonight. I wanted to be more of the loony character. So I chose to be Tamerson Brandywine, but everybody calls them Tam.
Cool. And okay, who are we personifying this evening?
So, I went with the withdrawn bookworm, because it probably hit a little too close to home. Um, and her name is Ren Nettle. And I'm just really excited. I have not actually played a game like this outside of D&D, so I'm just really excited for the whole experience. And just I'm really excited to see what kind of story and stuff that we can all come up with together. So yeah.
That works. That works. And Tiffany?
I am playing Arya Tenebris, the haughty descendant. And I actually went through a couple as well, but I picked this one because I don't actually get to be a snotty, just jerk. and as I've said before on this channel, I currently have 4 teenagers. I can just channel one of them. Any given day, one of them is being like this. But I'm looking forward to playing with how do you take somebody that is like haughty and kind of a jerk and have them work with a group that they have to work with. It's got to work in the story. But how do you like get them past that, I don't know, the haughtiness, their trope? How do you get them past their trope to, do something good?
Well, we joked as we were talking about the various houses. Everyone seemed drawn to Ravenclaw, except for Arya, who felt very naturally as a Slytherin, which means we kind of have the one Slytherin who's decided to deign all these little Ravenclaws with her presence and expertise, and they are lucky.
Everybody needs to do community service.
Yes. While the 3 Ravenclaws are going, yeah, she has like no friends, so we all kind of like let her hang out with us, which I think is a really, really fun dynamic. And it works until somebody ruins it by saying something about it.
I'm kind of glad I didn't play the bestie, because then we would end up being like the mean girls, and that Hogwarts doesn't need that.
No.
We only wear pink on Wednesdays, okay? Only Ravenclaw colors.
Only wear Ravenclaw colors. We wear suspenders on Fridays.
You also have to have the proper coffee drink, because if it doesn't match, it's a no-go. We're done.
Side note, it's not the plague, and I'm annoyed by that because at least I know what I could call it, and I could just take a week off work.
Sorry.
That's okay. Trust me, I've scraped my nose bloody trying to get enough cells to see what it is. File that under TMI.
Yeah.
So, the first step in character creation is to pick your tropes and to kind of get things rolling. Now, the mechanics for this game, when you do have to make skill checks, if you check your character sheets, especially the ones I posted on the Discord, you have different dice affiliated with your different attributes. So you have brains, brawn, charm, fight, flight, and grit. And so you are assigned dice based on what you're good at. So the 20 is the best, and the lonesome little D4 is the worst. So as a breakdown of that, just to kind of make sure we're all on the same page, brains represent anything you have to think your way through. Brawns are just your classic brute force. Now contrast that with grit. Grit covers any kind of endurance, physical and mental. So holding together while a teacher continually reprimands you and demands you tell them who else was out after hours is a grit check. Clinging to the side of the castle while you wait for rescue is also a grit check. You're just gritty. Fight is any kind of direct conflict, whereas flight is any kind of direct avoidance. And flight also is technically part of your stealth, just to give you some perspective. Now, when we do a skill check of any kind, I'll ask you to roll it, and generally, I'll even ask you what you think the DC should be, because y'all are smart. I only play with intelligent people and Greybeard, so I'm not worried about this. But for perspective, the breakdown is a 10 to 12 target number is a task where success would be impressive but expected of those skilled. 20 is only the most incredible people could pull off. And then 1 and 2 is, well, almost anybody can do that unless it's like really, really weird. So, for example, the writings for a 3 to 6, a task where success is likely for all but those who aren't skilled or have a low stat in that field. Examples, running back to your room to get your homework between classes and staying your ground against a younger student. So that's kind of how any kind of skill check we want to do works out. There's also no combat rolls or initiative. All combat is resolved in a single die roll. So we don't do back and forth blows. If you want to pick a fight with the Slytherin bully, all right, cool, you picked a fight with her. Now you roll it off, and now the fight's over. Unless you all want to get really creative about that fight and make it cinematic. Then, well, that's a whole different story, because now I'll just let you all be cinematic about it. The next question we should probably... if you buy add to a roll, usually it's used immediately on the roll they just made, Lady Arcanist. And that will also help plunk them up a bit. Speaking of add to the roll, if you ever roll the maximum on your die, you just got a lucky break. Roll it again. And you continue to do that until you stop rolling the maximum, which makes it rolling that d4 kind of fun, because a quarter of the time you'll get a lucky break. Just saying. Okay, so now we've got our tropes. We've talked stats. Are we all using the online character sheet now? So we've got all our stats plugged in. Let's talk about age. Kids on Brooms splits us into 2 categories, underclassmen and upperclassmen. So our underclassmen are the first, second, and third years. The upperclassmen are everyone up there before they graduate. What are we all thinking?
It's a 2-shot, so I think we can, we can either be little kids or I think extremes. I think we should go for one or the other. Either we're itty bitties or,
You also don't all have to be the same. We could have a Ravenclaw that's an upperclassman. We could have a couple of Ravenclaws that are underclassmen, and Arya could also be an underclassman. So we can mix and match them. I don't have a problem with that at all. That makes it kind of interesting. It's even more fun if Arya is different than everybody else too, just for that weird dynamic. Because either way, it gets for interesting story.
What is the... How old are they when they get their letters? Like 9? What is the age?
11.
Okay.
Yeah.
11.
Okay.
It's not that weird.
Okay. I was just making...
It's like middle school and high school.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So 11 to 14 is underclass. Upper class is 15 to 20. Is what they say. And I'm going to ask that we not do faculty, because that's not nearly as much fun.
No.
Oh, no.
Who wants to be a teacher?
I know.
I'd glare at you, but I don't want to be either.
Yeah.
That's why I'm retiring.
yeah. Awesome.
That ship has sailed.
I feel more comfortable, I think, being an underclassman because I don't know many spell names myself. So I feel like that fits for me. I don't know what I'm doing in this world, and that feels right for a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old.
That works.
I think it will be amusing if Arya is younger, but really thinks she should be in charge. I can totally see her trying that.
Cool.
One of the reasons I took the offbeat eccentric is because I can't remember any of the Patronus and all the spells and potions or any of that. So I'm like, I can just say I'm weird and it's part of the
You could just,
person.
we could just make it up. I think. I don't think anybody will be
Mhm.
really like.
Yeah.
Chat will correct us at some point. If it's really bad.
Right. We'll annoy them at some point.
See, that's what I
Um,
didn't do is get my daughter's spell book because she totally has a Harry Potter spell book.
Hmm.
Oh,
That's
that's
awesome.
impressive.
I don't know.
I-
She's got the robe, the wand, spell book she made. She's made up her own spells. It's crazy.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I can really go either way. If we want to play a fun dynamic, especially because like my character is definitely more quiet, but I don't think that she would be like hanging out with a bunch. Like if everyone else is underclassmen, I don't think she would be the only upperclassman to do it. So
We could also do kind of an in between and do like 13 or 14. So they've been there a couple of years, but they're still lower class.
mhm.
So like freshmen in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
Sounds good
could,
to me.
if you're feeling like you're going to be the older range, then why don't you go ahead and check upper class as opposed to underclass just to get the mechanical difference.
Mm.
Because what's neat with this little thing we're using for our character sheets, and for those that want to follow along, please absolutely take a peek at this. This is kind of a double dip of performance art and how to play. Once you pick your class, it automatically assigns you your first strength. So the underclassmen are automatically innocent, which if you pan down a little bit, once per session, you can spend 2 adversity tokens to convince an adult to not get you in trouble. You just say, I'm going to spend 2, and this is not an issue. The professor is going to walk away. Because, come on, I'm new here.
I'm so cute.
I didn't know we weren't supposed to go on the 8th floor. Yeah, I know he said that it was out of bounds, and there was going to be a dragon there, and he said that at breakfast this morning, but I still didn't know that was what he meant.
I mean, if he really wanted you to listen, he shouldn't have said it between the breakfast cereal and the sausage. Like, you're not going to pay attention.
Exactly. And then you pick 2 more strengths.
So we picked upper class, right?
If you picked upper class,
Okay.
then you get what for
Wait,
free?
I can't remember. What we were supposed to pick upper class or lower class.
You get trained in. So you pick one of your traits to be trained in for spell types. So smart spells, fighty spells, fast spells, gritty spells. 'Cause-
You have to just remember it. You can't click it on the
That I
sheet.
did notice. You're gonna have to
Okay.
jot a note to yourself somewhere.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't say like what type of spells we can choose from.
Right. Now here's the good news. All spells fit into your attribute categories. So you don't need to worry about, well, what's Alohomora do? It's like, no, I want to cast a spell that's going to unlock this door. There's a mechanic for that, and you just do it. If you happen to remember the actual name of the Harry Potter spell, cool. If you don't worry about it. It's not always important to the story. Plus, around the 3rd movie, they started hand-waving the need to actually say their spells out loud. So even the wizarding world plays fast and loose with those things. And they, on the sheets I posted on the Discord, they suggest strengths. So for example, with the Reluctant Oracle, they suggest you pick from Intuitive, Treasure Hunter, Psychic Link, and Gifted. And again, what I dig about this site, if you click on one, you look down, it'll show you the mechanics of it. So I don't have to read them all off to all of you.
I was gonna say, what would that be?
Yep. So
Okay.
if you just click Treasure Hunter, you can now see, boom, spend an adversity token, and blam, I found something useful over here. Now, I wasn't going to include familiars, but Molly, it suggests you have Psychic Link, which is only useful if you have a familiar. So guess what? Just don't call it JB.
I will not call it JB. I promise.
That's all I ask. Do not call it JB. I can't. I just can't.
How about Toulouse? That's a cute Britishy, Frenchy name.
Cool. What is it?
A cat? Right? What can they be? Anything? Do they have to be?
What do you think she would want as a familiar? Okay, let's be really clear about one thing here. This is the entire rule book.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yes. So
And half of this book, and I say this with affection for Renegade Games, half of this book is sensitivity training. So trust me, there ain't a lot of rules in here.
Okay. Yeah, I think like a fluffy white cat
A fluffy white cat.
with
Okay.
like a big bow.
A big
cute.
fluffy white cat.
Yeah.
Okay. I can work with that. Or more importantly, you all can work with that. Because I'm going to make a note of that.
Oh my.
No, but that's the whole point of this. We should all be making notes of this.
Okay.
Fluffy white cat. Okay. What other, are we ready to start reporting out our strengths?
I got mine.
All right. What, tell us about Tam's strengths.
Tam's strengths. He's going to be trained in flight, which is like his big dice. And that's probably not good game-wise mechanically. I should probably play into my weaknesses, but I think that they are one of those people who's invisible all the time. And hence, I took unassuming as a strength, may spend 2 adversity tokens to not be seen within reason. And then I also took cool under pressure as one of those things where they're like, dragon, wow. And they just are like, oh, I should run. No, they're so wrapped up in inquisitiveness that it could get them killed.
I thought the scales would be more pearlescent.
Yes, exactly.
Huh.
Exactly.
Not how I imagined it, man.
Yep.
All right, Tiffany, did you get your strengths figured out? Tell us about what Aria's good at.
Good. I've got innocent because I went with underclass.
Okay,
Because apparently I can't remember what I was supposed to.
so that's what you did.
So I got that, and I've got wealthy because I could spend my money as though I were a higher age bracket. A little bit more disposable income that totally will get us out of stuff. Wealthy adults would be considered to not have to worry much about money, whatever.
Right.
So I've got money. It's cool. And then spell slinger. So if I fail a spell check, I add 3 to a negative number. You will still lose the roll no matter what, but could reduce my loss. I don't know.
So you won't
Still figuring it out.
You won't be embarrassed by bombing your spell checks.
Right.
That works.
It's very important.
That works. And okay, are we set?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the trained in brains, which sounds weird.
It does, but that's how it mechanically works.
Yeah. So she would be trained in brainy magic. And then I actually also took unassuming because, she's like in little alcoves reading. And then I also took gifted. So if you make a check involving a magic die that fails, you may spend 1 adversity token to re-roll the magic die.
Ooh.
So, because she's smart.
Cool.
She's a coward, but she's smart.
She's smart. That works. And then Molly, last but not least.
Okay, so I took underclassmen. So I have innocence. And then I took psychic link for Toulouse. And then I can't decide between intuitive or treasure hunter. One says may spend 1 adversity token to ask the GM about your surroundings. An NPC or the GM must answer honestly, or may spend 1 adversity token to find a useful item in your surroundings. They both feel like oracle thingies, like a vibe, a feeling or something. I'm not quite sure what would be more useful in a game like this, though.
What's more interesting to talk? What makes a better story? The only thing useful is stuff that's fun.
Of course, the fun stuff. So I'm going to pick treasure hunter.
Okay. Now, the fun twist with that, the way I'd like to do it tonight, is you tell me what you find, and I'll try to help you figure out how it was useful. As opposed to, yeah. So as opposed to you going, I need to find something useful. I'll spend my adversity token. What did I find? You tell me what you found, and we'll figure out how to make it useful for the circumstance. We'll negotiate it.
How much stuff is Toulouse just gonna bat out from behind like a box?
Yeah.
Off of something. Off of something. He's a cat. That's all he does. He pushes things off things.
Yes.
That's how you know the Earth isn't flat. Because if the Earth was flat, cats would have pushed everything off of it by now.
You're not wrong.
Cats are nature's way of saying that doesn't belong there.
It's nature's inherent gravity check.
I'll take out the unassuming. We'll let that be the bookworm's deal, and I'll take prepared. And that way I can have one commonplace item with me at all times, because I love to have like a bag of just stuff. So
Okay, so we should talk about adversity tokens. Y'all are going to have to keep track of these somewhere. And I don't think there's a... Oh, there's a spot on the character sheet for it. Well, that's handy. I really like this little website. But you start the game with 3. Every time you fail a check, you get 1 more. I'm also willing to homebrew if you want to just fail. Like, screw it, I fail. I'll give you 2. Because I think one of the things I've found playing these games with people who've played a lot of Dungeons & Dragons, it's hard to get out of the mindset of, but we have to succeed. Story is always more interesting when you fail. Because if Vader
Hey, with the roles of your Wednesday night group, we fail a lot, okay?
And we have a lot of fun. Well, think about it.
We do.
If he had found the plans at the beginning of episode 4, if he had not failed his command check, the movie would have been very short.
Very true.
The movie was fun because of failures of the right people.
You said we start with 3?
You get 3.
Okay.
Now, here's what you can use them for. If you want to make a skill check that you are preparing for, everyone can spend a token to add into the pot before you roll to increase your likelihood of outcome. You can help each other. If it's a snap decision, so if it's one of those cases where like this, there is no time to plan and discuss, it's like crap, the troll is thundering out of the bathroom. There's no time to think about a good escape plan. You're just going to go into flight mode. Only you get to spend your adversity tokens then. There's no group pool of them. And it's a straight 1-to-1 to up your die roll. And that's kind of like the big mechanic there. Again, the big thing is you get more of them every time things don't go your way, with except for, I think, Tam, what did you say his strengths were?
Cool under pressure, prepared, and trained in. Those are the ones.
Oh, that's right. Cool is they spend 1 token to take half your die's value instead of rolling.
Yep.
That's the other twist. If it's not a snap decision, you can just take the half the die's value and not roll. And just assume you got that. So if you have time to plan your run back to get something from the room to see if you can beat something, you don't have to. You can say, look, I'm just going to take half. And then you're good to go on that. There's also flaws. We got to deal with that. And there's a little drop down of suggested ones.
I'm sorry, I have no flaws.
Okay, so that means you're going to check off narcissistic. It's on the list. You might want to add to that blunt. But that's up to you.
Wait, how many flaws do we need?
You get 2.
All right.
Do they say what they do, or?
They have no mechanical effect.
Oh, okay.
So the good news is that they're just there. I'm going to make a few notes to myself about these so I can kind of poke you on those while we play. The only mechanical effect they have is that everyone else should remind you of them from time to time so that you can play to them, because that's half the fun. Is to go, oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to be nice right now. I'm haughty about this kind of thing.
Also, did everyone pick upperclassmen except me?
No, I picked lower class.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was gonna say, because I will change that if that's the case.
Okay, flaws. And great. Let's see. Tam. Graybeard. Okay. How are we doing? We figure. Can we tell us a little more about our characters now?
Still picking.
Still picking. Still picking.
I have
picked-
mine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I'm a timid little bookworm, Mo.
Fine, I'll go.
As we set the general dynamic for the table moving forward.
I think I have a premonition of what she's going to pick.
So is timid one of the ones?
Ooh.
For me, yes, timid and competitive.
Fun.
Oh.
Oh, it's always the quiet ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of awesome.
I like that.
Molly, what did you put down?
I picked irrational and naive. I'm a baby. I'll believe
Irrational
whatever you
and-
tell me about
Baby.
this school, mister.
By the way, your cat is an old cat.
Yeah, he's
Eh.
like the family's cat. I think that he's been like
Yeah.
in the family going to this school
He's
for
like
like
a
6 generations.
32-year-old cat.
Yeah, he was my brother's and my sister's cat going through Hogwarts.
There are black and white photos of the family with the cat where the cat
Yep.
is black. It's not a white cat. It's just an old
Yeah.
cat.
Yes. Yep.
And he is so not having you.
No.
Okay.
But I have little pink bows in his hair, and he looks so cute for school. He hates me.
That's a good relationship with your familiar.
And I definitely call him Tutu to his face, and he hates it. For sure.
I think you should call him Toodles.
Oh, Toodles! I like that better. Toodles it is.
So it was naive and what else?
Irrational.
Irrational. Okay. Wow. Okay. Tell us about Aria. Well, we did we settle on Arias?
There's so many to choose from.
That's what I'm having. I know I'm taking tempted.
Tempted?
Yeah. Like, ooh, that's cool. And he he has to go check it out.
Gotta go see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Okay.
leaning towards greedy, but I'm not sure. There's so many.
Well, you're not taking narcissistic?
I can. I don't know. It's a good one. Also, spoiled is a good one.
Unless you're gonna grab it, I'm gonna take blunt as the other one. They just blurt things out.
No, I think you should go. I think I'm gonna do narcissistic. And do I do haughty or greedy? I think haughty. I can always play in greedy.
Great. So we have a kleptomaniac Luna in the group. Your glasses are slightly too large for your face. I found this for you, though. They won't miss it. If it works. So that's and greedy, you said?
Me or him?
Tiffany. Yeah.
Oh, narcissistic and I don't know. I'm going between haughty and greedy. I guess I'll go greedy. I'll go greedy. It'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. That
I
works.
mean, like I said, there's just so many flaws to choose from. It's like, and they didn't write out what they were. I kind of wanted to see what their descriptions of them were. It'll be good.
Okay, so we continue to slide our way down. As we fill out the rest of the actual character sheet, we should let's do the wands, and then we'll do the individual questions, and then we'll do the dynamic questions, and we'll see where we are and how we're doing with getting ready to kick off our story. So there's a section here about making your wand, or rather finding out what wand picked you, to be fair. And it really mechanically boils down to two simple things. What two stats do you want to have a bonus for when you are doing magic? What 2 stats do you want your wand to be attuned to? So things like grit's a good one for healing magic. Would fall under grit. You could argue putting up some kind of shield charm would be a grit, depending on what you're trying to resist. Charm is the classic, these are not the witches you're looking for. That's a charm spell. Forgetful spells. Anyone? Your classic disarming charm would be a fight. Brains, I forget what they say about brains for spells. Because that does feel like a weird one, doesn't it? Spell checks. They really don't give us a lot on it. Yeah, describe what you want it to do, and then we figure out what type of magic it is.
What does it say for flight?
That's your stealth and your running.
What would you think a brains would be? Because that's my best thing. So I'm curious as to what
Right, same.
what
Yeah,
that falls under.
Oh, wait, here we go. Nope, that doesn't help us any either.
I would say think Hermione Granger. So clever. Stuff that's maybe clever in the situation.
Yeah, that's a weird spell, though. Like, what constitutes a
weird
brainy
spell.
spell? Augury spells? Divinations?
Oh, yeah.
That feels very much like a brain.
What?
ESP.
Yep.
Augury.
Location
What is
spells.
an augury?
Telling the future.
Yes.
Telling a situation.
Fortune telling. Could also be like, hey, I need to cast a spell to find out where Tam wandered off to because we kind of need him right now because we need to get in the boys' locker room. And none of us want to do it. Well,
Oh my God, it's so dirty in there.
Lenore is willing to do it, but we're not willing to let her go in there. Like, it'll be fine. No one will care. No, come here. So those kinds of things. Yeah, it's not really clear otherwise. This is one of those, it's kind of whatever feels good. Also, I would put out there, if you think about the number of times you said, can I use my investigate here? The neat thing is, you don't have to ask me. You just say you're doing it. And as long as it feels good, we roll with it.
I do like that.
I know you do.
So I'm trying to figure out if it makes sense to go with ones that you have a higher number in already. Were you rolling a higher dice or were you rolling a lower one? I don't know.
I would go with what kind of magic you think your character would use more.
I think charm and grit.
There you
I'm
go.
just going to go with charm and grit.
I can definitely see our resident Slytherin being accomplished in charm spells.
Oh, yes.
That feels very natural. I've got this
And
covered.
you said flight spells would be like sneaky. Okay.
Sneak is under flight, movement is under flight, speed is under flight.
And what were you saying was like defensive magic? Was that brawn or fight?
Fight,
Yes.
he had his disarm, and grit, he had his like healing and shield.
Yes, that's what I would probably guess.
Okay.
I'll do grit. I'm doing brains and grit then. That seems
Yeah.
useful.
It's it's a little weird.
Oh.
Yeah, but if you want like to protect yourself in a fight, that would be grits and brawn or grits and fight, depending on how you want to see it. If you think of it as the tank, that's grits brawn. If you think of it as fancy wand play to parry the incoming attacks, that's like a fight. If you think it's just like I'm not here, I've teleported over there, that's flight magic.
Okay.
So in a lot of ways, there really isn't a bad skill for any situation. It's all what you think would be interesting in the scene.
And what is the actual mechanic of the wand?
You just
Gives
get a
you what?
+1 in those categories.
Okay.
I
So you
think.
can do any of the magic. You just get a bonus in the 2 that you
Yeah,
selected.
which I'm finding a little confusing with this because the way I've read the rules, you roll a magic die anytime you cast a spell, but the website seems to say, "Oh, look, you have the magic button if it matches to your wand stats." And I've read this thing a couple of times, and again, thin rule book. I haven't picked that up out of the rule book yet, so I don't.
It might be just playing and see how it works out mechanic wise.
Yeah, but according to the section on wands, which I'm flipping to as we speak. Wands. Yeah, you get a +1 to 2 attributes.
Yeah, it automatically just did +1s to charm and flight for me, and then when I do the wand stats, it just puts the magic button
Yeah.
for me.
Oh, you know what?
Up in the boxes up there.
It just clicked in my
Yeah.
brain. It just clicked in my brain. That's going to be rolling that die with an additional +1.
So you roll the dice and then you hit magic and it gives you a +1. Is
The
that
magic will
interesting?
be rolling with a +1 if you want to use the online dice roller.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I'd play with my math rocks tonight because we have these awesome math rocks that we all got.
True.
It seems silly not to use them. But, so, where I'm going to pick on... Tiffany, did you get a sense for what you would like your wand to be able to do?
Yeah, I think charm and grit.
Okay, so you should make a note.
It's kind of
Make a note
it's kind of going
somewhere.
between grit and fight, but
But what did you end up picking?
charm and grit.
Charm
It's
and
kind of going
grit.
between grit and fight.
Okay.
I'll go grit.
So then what you want to do is make a note that down where it says school bag, your wand is cherry with a diamond in its core.
Ooh, that's very her.
Yes. It's actually like at the... I'm almost picturing it like at the base. There's like that
Oh, yeah.
sparkly diamond at the bottom of the hilt, as it were, that just
Yeah.
channels it up through. That way when you cast, you can see the diamond. It kind of helps reinforce it.
And I can
It's
see me in
wrapped
it
in
'cause
the
it's
Louis
polished
Vuitton
really
logo.
nicely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Gucci bag.
Yeah.
Is there a school bag?
Only the finest. Yeah. It's gonna be really hard not to play as a Valley Girl. I'm just gonna say that.
Do the
In
British have
lace.
Valley
In-
girls?
No, well, they have Sloane girls, which are like the Alice band, and they all horseback ride. Yeah, there's a type. There's a type.
There's also
fair.
posh.
Posh. Yeah, you can just go posh. That's what I was gonna go for. We'll see how it works.
Absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. Who else has their wand settled? If you'd like to know what has been selected. Okay, what is Tam want out of his wand?
Tam has grit and flight.
Ah, so that one has a maple wood with a bat's bone in its core.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, NLK, tell us about Ren's wand.
So Ren's wand is actually fight and flight.
Oh,
Nice.
fight and flight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a dogwood that's completely hollowed inside. Now the air that's in that hollowed section, the Ollivander the First, is a little unsure what it has with it. He did not craft this particular wand. He only paired it with you. But there are
Okay.
stories about what that air might contain within it. Try not to break it.
I'm going to call it sus air.
Plus, I'm not exactly sure how else you have a core of air in a wand. Like, I'm like, really? That's your core? Okay, we'll go with that. And then Lenora's wand.
Right. I did brains and flight.
Yeah. So wisteria for the wood, and a hawk's feather has been encased within.
That's fun.
Yeah, I have a neat little way of handling that. Okay, so we're almost done with our individual characters, which is kind of cool and kind of fun. The last piece of individual information that you get to pick for yourself before we get into the really crazy fun stuff Remember when I sent you the character sheets on Discord? You had the 2 questions? Have you answered them yet?
No.
Do you want a minute to answer them, or do you want me to just call on people and put you on the spot?
I'll go because I kind of thought about mine. So I didn't know if I could say it this way. So mine is question 1. What do you believe in that no one else seems to? And I was thinking, because it's Hogwarts, I would believe in all the cryptids of our world, of the Muggle world, and nobody believes me that Jersey Devils and Mothman and that kind of stuff exists in the Muggle world. And so I believe in the cryptids that and the juxtaposition is in our magic world, there's dragons and trolls and everything else, but they don't believe me that Bigfoot lives out there.
You're still looking for a jackalope.
Yep, exactly. All the cryptids of the Muggle realm. And what would it mean to find someone who believes me? Oh, geez. It would be instant trust and friendship. So if there was, I can't think of all the bad guys from Harry Potter. If one of them were to say to me, well, of course I believe you, Tam would just be like, oh, well, then I trust you and you're my friend, obviously.
What could possibly go wrong?
Wrong. You would, I believe you. You like Star Wars? I like Star Wars. You must be a good person,
Oh, God. Nothing bad could come out of that.
So, do I need to write those down somewhere?
I just did.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry. I'm taking notes.
All right.
Keep you on your toes with this. Somebody else ready to go?
I couldn't come up with something.
Okay, we'll pick on Tiffany.
Okay. So I'm going to answer question 2 first.
Question 2 first. Why are you afraid that you won't be able to live up to your family's reputation?
I think that I am. I don't think I'm as good at magic as they are. I think I'm just gonna actually not. I'm gonna screw up somehow. I'm gonna fail a magic test or get kicked out or something. I just think she's really not fantastic. She thinks she probably is better than she thinks she is, but she totally is not great.
That's fair.
Question 1: what famous or infamous thing is your family known for in the magic world?
No pressure there.
Well, I was actually, because I kind of wondered if maybe they ended up being like the magic world version of Diplomats, but what if they
I feel like we've played that before.
have you? Oh yeah. Just yeah, we have. Oh my god. I was trying not to be a character I've already done. I don't know. I was thinking about something like they came up with some kind of somehow they're connected with spying. I don't know. I really can't. Oh no. I can't come up with any good ideas.
Known for something in the magic world. Would anyone like to
What
contribute
if
a
they
theory?
had,
She hangs out with
spell
you
or
guys, and
something?
you all know that her family is infamous for this. What would it be?
I think you smuggle some sort of magical animal.
Ooh.
They're infamous for their not so quiet animal smuggling.
Or monopoly on, how about monopoly on a certain type of wood that wands are made out of?
I like both of those.
I know.
I definitely can see your mom decked out in furs though, exotic furs.
Little Cruella DeVille going on there.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So let's
known for their unicorn farm.
Oh no.
They provide only the finest exotic animals to those high enough to deserve them.
your boots and your cape have like white fur lining in them.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
oh,
Periodically, I hold it up to your cat. It's not that different.
yeah. Toulouse just.
To which
Behave.
he knows it's rabbit fur,
He
but
knows it's a
nobody
big
else
lie.
does, and he's not letting on because screw all of you. He's just not. You all think he's aloof. He just knows better than to be.
So we deal in exotic animals and furs. Okay.
Infamous for exotic animal pelt or animal dealings.
I might be secretly very interested in Tamerson's talk about cryptids. Anything counts as exotic.
What
Tell me
exactly
again
is
about
Jack?
Mothman.
Does he actually
How
fly?
big?
So our withdrawn bookworm. Why?
Hmm.
Why do you love studying by yourself?
So I love studying by myself because people talk a lot and it's distracting. But also it's to hide the fact that I am definitely looking up spells that I should not be looking up yet. And there might be some promiscuous not textbooks going on that I don't want anybody to know that I'm reading. So
That fan fiction.
Yup.
Wizard fan fiction.
and I don't want them to know. Nobody
You
needs
have
to know.
You have to go with it just because of Rob's expression.
Yes.
I'll
It's
just-
amazing.
I'm just gonna slap a little 18 plus on the
Okay.
title of the
No,
stream.
there will not be
No.
anything 18 plus, but just just a little
They'll just-
Because
spice.
she doesn't want us to know, remember?
Just
just-
a little spice.
So just moments where like Lenora comes up and goes, "So what are you reading?" And before you can close it, goes,
Mm.
and then there's just a long.
It's a study on werewolves.
Where's something?
Just talking about how you catch a unicorn. What's the problem?
Or how you can no longer. And no. Stop.
Oh,
Stop. Stop.
oh, oh, oh.
I'm not gonna make it 18
Danger.
plus, but you
Danger.
can.
Okay, so that's okay. Orby nailed it right there. Question 2. How have your recent attempts to spend time with others backfired?
I think for her, she would have actually really wanted to be involved with a lot of people. But either through, and I think she's learned, like, this is something that she would learn about herself. She is not a good pursuer of friendships. And so she just kind of lets opportunities pass her by because she lets her fear get in the way of it. And she tends to like write people off the minute she feels like she doesn't trust them or like they could betray her.
Okay, that works. That makes sense. So we're a little quick to assume we failed. We can do that. And Arwen, thank you for resubscribing. We appreciate you there. Thank you so much for being part of our games and for hanging out tonight. If this goes well, I want to do more of this in the future. Gives up easily on social efforts and assumes failure is okay. Got it. All right. Now I just need to hear about Lenora a little bit.
I need help
Okay.
from because these are all about like visions.
Mhm.
So my first question is, what troubles have your visions prevented? I'm not quite sure what I like. How do the visions work? Like, what does she see?
You're right. Neither am I. You tell me. Where does she get her visions? That's
Where?
that's a great first question. If she has these visions, how do they happen?
I think she confuses them with daydreams a lot.
Okay.
Like she already, I think, zones out quite a bit, and it's like, was that a daydream or did I just have a premonition?
You can think of it like a sixth sense as well. Like you've heard about sixth sense people.
Yeah, yeah.
It can kind of be like that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know what.
Well, what's one time that your visions got you out of a bad spot because you'd either foreseen it or you saw something happening somewhere else or your spidey sense got tingling?
Maybe when she was like a first year or something, and she was like, I don't know, like at lunch, and she was like, we should not eat the lunch food. And it ended up being like food poisoning or something. And then there's like a picture of her with like full braces, like with the lunch lady, like in the owl, like local first year stops food poisoning at school. And it's like her mom has that on the fridge, like so proud. But I think that she has like bigger premonitions that she just doesn't think are real, because I think that maybe they've gotten her into trouble before. Like, there's a dragon that's going to descend on the city. No, that was just a daydream. That was just me thinking about dragons.
But the dragonfly epidemic that hit your grandma's garden, that you could have told them about that.
Yeah, that was brutal.
That would have helped.
If you put two and two together. That's fair. So the other question is, what confusing vision of the future still haunts you?
Well, we are at a point in time where that could be very big. Because it's the early 1940s.
1939.
Yeah, so I'm thinking perhaps something big like that, if you catch my drift, but I think that she doesn't. It's confusing because it's like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. This must just be something that I thought up. But she keeps maybe seeing it, so it's scary.
So she keeps like seeing the battle for Britain or the Blitz.
Yes. Like she keeps seeing that, and it's like, there's no way that could happen. There's no way. And so that must just be me terrorizing myself with this image over and over again. It can't be real.
Oh man, I was going all Hiroshima.
Yeah, like that was my first thought, is like the mushroom cloud kind of deal. But I think the Blitz would be probably more prevalent to them since they're like young British children. So
yeah, the idea of London getting bombed. I mean, all through the Great War, London was nowhere near the front. The boys went out, and the boys came back, and the boys weren't the same. And that was about the extent your average Englishman really saw the war if they weren't there. The World War II was really harsh on the British when air power became a thing. Which, again, makes for interesting storytelling.
So, I think that's like kind of her thing, is she only will act on the small premonitions she has because she's too scared of the big ones to believe them. Like, it's like, there's no way this could happen. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing could happen from this. Yeah.
We're all fine here. We're all fine.
Yes.
Okay, so for the table at large, in this time period, what are some notable landmarks about Hogwarts that we should be thinking about? What's something? And don't rack
Hogsmeade, of course.
Don't rack your brain for stuff in the canon. This is a different. No one has ever really written much about this piece of time. So, what would it be as something that would be like? I think it would be cool if, blah. We all gather at the. Go ahead, Gray.
How about the Whomping Willow's nice at this point? The Whomping Willow is like green, and it like lets you swing on its branches, and people have picnics under it, and everything else.
So what do we call it? It's not the Whomping Willow. It's the what? The Whimsome Willow?
Oh yeah.
Good.
I like that twist.
Yeah.
I also feel like
whimsical. That's the word I wanted.
Whimsical willow.
The whimsical willow.
Well, that's cute.
I
also feel like the library is going to be pretty big for this group.
Yeah.
What about what sticks out about the library though? That right now that you're like, but this part of the library. Don't say the restricted section. That's low hanging fruit.
There's a giant bronze circular door that doesn't seem to have any door like handles or locks on it. But it's just gilded in bronze.
And no one talks about where it goes.
No one knows where it goes. People say that there's a like huge beast behind there. There's a different universe behind there.
There's a whole room of chamber pots behind there. Who knows?
Yep. Who knows?
Gotta keep it somewhere.
What is your kid's obsession with my secret closet of mystery?
We open, it's a broom closet.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was actually, speaking of to polymorph, I was actually picturing the whimsical willow actually creating little cubbies in its base for young couples to like sneak into just to get a little bit of privacy when they want snuggles.
There was an artist that used to form all sorts of things out of trees. And he built like a cathedral and seats. And I could totally see the whimsical willow being that.
Yeah. So when people aren't playing on it, it's, for the the whimsical willow after hours.
Oh, no.
Does it get little stars and sparklies in it?
Little fairy
Change
lights.
colors?
Yeah.
Fairy lights.
That's cute.
That totally works. And very on brand for the theme we've got going.
And still not quite 18. All right.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly.
I think it'd be cool if there was some kind of, not a Stonehenge, but some kind of a circle, but it's made up of a combination of like stones and trees that have grown to form into these almost doorways, almost a variety of archways or doorways or something.
The Stone Grove.
Stone Grove, yeah.
Yeah, the Stone Grove. Cool. Stone Grove. All right, so now we've added a couple of fun elements there we can come back to, which will be kind of neat. We'll have to work those into what we talk about. I'm not going to worry about classes because I kind of feel like those are pretty well covered. Now comes the last challenging group talk before we get into the big question period, which is some interesting rumors about school lately. Now, this is part of what makes the kids on genre stick out, because in theory, I have one NPC that will interact with all of you, and that's it. That's all I have. Everything else you're generating. So these rumors are going to become part of that story arc. So take a second and think about that rumor or two that you want to throw on the pile. And the neat thing is not all rumors are true. And some of the rumors are rooted in reality. And we all get to have the fun of like delving into it together. And I'll add one more twist. The best thing any of us can say at the table is, wouldn't it be cool if? Because the second you say that, you have made it canon. Because that's what we're here to do. And yes, this is a two-shotter. We're doing this while Pond is away in order to ensure she never leaves us alone again. That's the mission. She's going to watch this and go, oh God, I cannot leave those guys alone for a second.
She was already pretty iffy if she should leave us alone.
And to be fair, part of the Kids On is it really has terrible character advancement mechanics. It's really designed to be an afternoon where you do spend the first hour just gabbing about the characters and kind of fleshing them out a bit. And then next time you play, say, let's do it again, but this time I want to be the bestie. You should be the golden one, which is on the list of archetypes. They do have Harry Potter himself in here as a potential archetype. So what are we thinking? What are some fun potential plot threads that we can get? What shenanigans would you like to get into? And what rumors have you heard that make you think this is the shenanigan we should go after?
There's a rumor of ice spiders in the potions dungeon.
Ooh.
Or not necessarily ice spiders, but you feel unnaturally chilly. How about we do that? Unnaturally chilly as you're going into the potions dungeon. And some people are hearing whispers.
Okay, accompanied by whispers. I'm actually writing down rumors of the ice spiders because I think that it's a nice blend. And like everyone knows they feel kind of cold down there, and then there's a couple of the seventh years who are like, no, that's all in your head. You only feel cold because you think it's cold. To which every first year will tell you, no, it's because of the ice spiders. That's the first thing they learn. What else? Oh, that's gonna be fun. What else is
I'm
interesting?
trying to think of something with like a stairway where every time you go up it, there's a different treasure door or a different space you can go to explore. But I don't know if it works or if it's too vague.
We have kind of like the staple of the shifting stairways. Oh, you just had a moment.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh well, I was wondering what if it somehow like there was a way to go and go up this specific staircase and you can go into a door that shows you the past teachers or something. I don't know. It doesn't work. I think there's a treasure at the top of one of the stairways.
I can live with the rumor that there is somewhere in the building, there is a Teacher of the Year hallway that no one has ever seen.
Oh, fun. I love it. I love
Somewhere.
it. That's good. That's good. There'll be some teacher going, no, I'm in the hallway. What are you talking about? I'll show you later when you're older.
And they always announce the Teacher of the Year. That's still part of the tradition at the matriculation ceremony in the spring when they send off everyone that's going on to what they're going to do. They always name a Teacher of the Year, and they always talk about how they will be featured in the hallway with other previous Teachers of the Year, and no one has the faintest clue where that hallway is. Stairway to Heaven played on the stairs, but only when you go up.
Nice.
There is actually a staircase that is made up like that, where if you go up it, it'll play music. Sorry.
Yeah.
How about something like German gremlins have been spotted on the grounds, like actual, breaking stuff type gremlins, since it's the beginning of World War II.
That sounds like something especially the Muggleborns would have a lot to say about. And all the Wizardborns are like, yeah, no, that's not a thing. That's not how those work.
There's goblins there, but they're not German. They're just jerks.
Yeah,
Just jerks.
the pointed hats, those are because they're fashionable. That has nothing to do with where they're from. They just wear pointed hats.
Yeah. It's like
Which,
Kaiser helms. Yeah.
fun fact, the American Army had a spear-tipped headgear for many years.
The Kaiser helm.
Because it's what everybody else was doing, and therefore it was cool, and therefore we had to do it too. Okay, can we get one more from somebody? I don't care where it comes from.
Yeah, I think that there is a metal dragon in the basement, and you can take that however way you want to, but that there's a rumor that there's a metal dragon in the basement. Could that be a plane? Could that be something else? Who knows? But people have rumored that there's a large metal winged creature in the basement. I know, my Sam is showing.
Is it a dragon that's made out of metal and is a living creature now?
Yeah.
Or is it a dragon that is of the element of metal and has always been, it's like the last of its kind?
Yeah, I think that's why it's so vague. It's like a big, it has wings, and it's like, oh, well, what could that be?
Don't be
I
daft.
love that it could turn into
It's
a
clearly
plane.
a dragon.
Yeah.
It's not a dragon. It's some kind of aircraft.
It's actually a roller coaster that takes you to the Dungeons and Dragons ride.
Yeah.
Wait, I've seen that. I remember that cartoon.
Pausing for all the hours I spent trying to figure out what artifacts those were.
No, right?
Combing through the books. It's got to be here somewhere.
Polly, I did think about a dragon zeppelin.
Ooh.
Too late. Yeah. Dragon Ghost is good too, but
But I
That's how
feel
you
like for
know-
that time period, it could be anything. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
could make
yeah.
big metal beast out of anything. I mean, you could put a tank down there. Who knows?
Nobody's really fully explored the basements of Hogwarts.
I
I don't
mean-
even know how many basements they have.
You know?
I don't think Hogwarts knows how many basements it has. That's 2/3
I
of the
swear all of my uncles have explored a different basement. They never.
So
saw
I'm
like
pretty
the
sure
same
the
thing.
only one that knows is Toulouse, and he doesn't care.
He's not gonna tell you.
Yeah.
He knows.
Oh,
all.
Toulouse knows.
Yeah, he's been to Hogwarts since it opened, all right? He's been going for
There's a rumor.
generations.
Toulouse has made Hogwarts.
I'm putting that on our rumor list. Toulouse. That would be Lenora's familiar. Was present when Hogwarts was founded.
Well, that's a well-known fact in her family, too.
And this was perpetuated by the fact that every member of the faculty knows him,
Yeah. 1,000%.
including Professor Binns, who teaches the wizarding history, which in the modern books, he was a ghost who taught history, who had just died and forgot to leave. He still he was teaching it back in the 30s too. So a little carryover there. So we have that going on. But yeah, we'll add that in there as a fun rumor that yes, Toulouse has been around a bit. Okay, so now we get to put you all together before we really get into telling our stories. Not that this isn't fun already. But now we get to the really fun, juicy part. And we've all done this at my table before. The questions are slightly different because they're magically themed. And do we want to establish who doesn't know somebody who's coming into this a little bit blind? Or do we simply say, look, the four of you have all had enough time to get to know each other a little bit before our story begins?
Well, if we're doing true Harry Potter fashion and we want to accomplish something, it's got to be after Christmas. If we just want to
Fair.
set up stuff, it should be November. At which point we've had a little bit of time, we've taunted each other, we've moved forward. And then over Christmas break, things happen.
Things happened.
I also feel like even if we haven't spoken, Lenora has walked past each of you and either gone, I wouldn't eat that, or you should really tie that shoe, and then just walked off again. Like I've definitely commented to all of you, like maybe don't go in there today, and then I just keep walking.
Number 4 is B.
Yeah.
That book should really be closed now because there's a professor around the corner.
Or like you're like running to a class and I go, it doesn't matter, you're gonna fail that test.
Oh.
What?
Wait, what flaws did she take? Naive in her own.
Irrational and
Okay, fair,
naive.
fair.
I mean, that's pretty.
That's a little harsh, but okay, we'll go with it. Oof. Yes. That's absolutely an oof moment. So as far as that knowledge of each other though goes, because that does flavor the questions you get and how much you get to flavor each other. Do we assume the upperclassmen have a pretty good knowledge of each other prior to all of this?
I think so.
Yeah.
And we go that route. So we have the 2 underclassmen, the 2 upperclassmen.
Yeah.
We'll kind of use that as our thing. The Gryffindors just did not represent tonight. And that's okay.
They're off saving the world,
I know.
aka
Doing their
destroying
thing.
Hogwarts. So
Which to be fair, we already have a lot of Gryffindor fiction out there. It is kind of fun to explore the other houses a little bit.
And
Right.
the thing too is we really are a brainiac type crew. No one has brawn or fight or
Not really.
so it will be of the mind.
He's got like
Everyone
brains and
except
ego.
Toulouse. We find out Toulouse is a barbarian.
oh my
Right.
god,
Yeah.
Toulouse is like a shapeshifter.
swole
isn't he?
Toulouse. He's just like,
3,000-year-old cat.
Yeah, the moment comes, he gets out his Buster sword and
Oh.
goes at it.
He's
I love that you just reached back and had that.
it's
We need a more cat-sized sword.
And
Okay. So we have knowns and unknowns. And I'm going to roll to see who gets to go first. And we're going to start with 1, 2, 3. Molly goes first. So, Lenora, let's start with your knowns. We'll do the knowns to get those up and running right out of the gate. It'll help speed up the back end of this. So, as Lenora thinks about what she knows of Arya, what meaningful or important object did Arya give to you?
Ooh. Meaningful or important?
Yeah.
Maybe because I think that we're probably like the same year, right? Because we're both underclassmen.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like when we all, like the first day kind of deal. Maybe you dropped something and I saw it and picked it up. Like I knew you were gonna drop it, so I was standing behind you like so ready. Like, so I'm like, this is how I make a friend. My mom said this is the way to do it. And I picked it up and I was like, hey, you dropped this, and you're like, you can keep it. And I was just like so like off the cuff, like, I don't want this swill. I'm going to my house. And it was like, this means we're best friends. And I've just persistently followed you for years then. And now it's like, you can't get rid of me. And I don't know what that would be. Maybe like,
what if there's like a bracelet or something? Like,
yeah, like
and
something, or like my little. I have a green ascot that I could wear. I'm gonna change it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's the ascot that I wear every day. It's it's the green ascot that I'm just like, and it's so nice. It's nicer than anything I've ever owned. And I'm just like, yep, I know I'm Ravenclaw, but I'm wearing Slytherin colors.
And was it that you like threw it away?
I didn't throw it away so much as it fell because I just didn't care. It was like barely
you literally
tucked
saw
into a
someone else wearing it and you immediately took it off.
Yeah.
And I was like, went to tuck it in my pocket and like it missed and just fell on the ground.
My vision was you trying to put it away and it fell, and I was like, I've got it. Best friend confirmed today. I understand the assignment. And then
it really does look much better on you.
Thank you. I like it too. This is nice. Is nice.
Brings out your eyes.
Thank you.
Now it brings out your cat's eyes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Toulouse is pretty great. So what are we doing later?
Later. Yeah.
I'll let Tiffany off the hook. Now, there's of course, in every relationship, there's a downside. In this particular relationship, Molly, during classes, what does Lenora do to intentionally distract Arya?
Ooh, this has got to be easy. Okay, so it's like I definitely am constantly like I feel like you try to not sit by me, or you've tried not to sit by me, and even when you don't, I'm like sending you messages or messing with like little notes that are like hi with like a smiley face and like like a little cat, like a drawing of a cat, and like lots of stuff like that, and it's just like constantly distracting.
Do you remember, did you ever take those little notepads or stacks of paper and draw stick figures on them, so if you flipped them, they move?
Yes. I'm definitely doing that with magic.
Up on my desk. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I'm definitely doing that with magic. Like, you're writing notes, and as you're writing them, the notes are turning into like, hey, Arya, how are you? This is Lenora.
Yeah. or it's just, like down the side, there's little dancing cats. They're like knocking the dots off the eyes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Tiffany.
Periods off the sentences.
I don't know if this was a predicate or not.
Wow. So Arya doesn't know, let's see here. Where am I going with this? Doesn't know Tam very well. But you do know something about Tam. Arya knows 9. that she's heard he has an amazing magical ability. What is it?
He has the ability to discover all of those weird animals that you hear about but have never actually come across. Like that Selkie that lives in the lake sometimes, yeah, he can get him to come out. It's amazing. It's amazing. Nobody else can get the Selkie to come out. They are so shy. I'd go with selfish, but I'll say shy because that's nicer. But yeah, like you hang around with them and like I didn't even know we had some of these animals here, and I know a lot of the animals are.
Fair.
And I'm always disappointed because again, it's some magical beast that, you know, lives in this realm, and I'm actually looking for, you know, Bigfoot stuff. So that's unicorn.
Again.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Forbidden Forest is, yeah, it's forbidden, but it's still kind of fun. Okay, so now we slide over to Gray. And we ask about what Tam knows about Ren.
Ooh.
So there's some good news.
Okay.
What
Okay.
wonderful, unforgettable experience did you two have together? And let me know if I need to change the tag.
I just want to say that it was something that to do with silence, some absolute like thing where Tam was invisible, waiting for something to appear, like he was trying to catch one of the gremlins or something, and
One of the German goblins.
one of the German goblins that are here, and so yeah, he was invisible and absolutely silent, and then she was able to do something study wise or magic wise because they needed that absolute silence, something along those lines.
So like you both like went to come in from dinner and realized you'd been sitting on opposite sides of the exact same tree for 3 hours in absolute silence. And it was like, whoa.
Respect.
Kindred.
Yeah. Player recognizes player. Okay, I like that.
Okay, that's cool. That works. Unfortunately, again, in every long relationship has its downturns. So the thing that you also know, what forbidden spell does Tam know that Ren is currently researching?
There could be a lot.
That's on you.
You assign it to her, man. That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
You answer it. You decide.
Oh, it's what spell
Yep.
that I know
Yep.
that she's looking for.
Yep.
And I'm the bad part is that I'm not giving it to her or helping her with it.
Maybe you are, but you know she's doing it.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's something that lets you put a book under your pillow, and when you awake, the book is in your head. You know, it's like a memory kind of thing. And osmosis, you could osmose the book through your pillow. The poor thing is that in the way Tam's head works, it's all a swill. So it he remembers it, but only in bits because it's all mixed with all the other jumbly stuff in there.
And that would definitely be against the rules at Hogwarts because that's a type of cheating.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to use magic to read faster.
Right, but Tam doesn't. Who cares about that? I got better things to do.
Is that how that works?
I think so.
Okay. So, NLK, there's this plucky little first year or second year now that's been poking around the Ravenclaw common room named Lenora. I need to know something about her. I need to know. Sure. What good thing has Ren heard about Lenora that she just can't believe is true?
Oh, 100%. That she predicted accurately the first round of finals last year.
Wait, that you don't think I did, or you do think I did?
Oh no,
What
I
was the
don't
question?
think that you did.
Oh,
but
okay,
that's
okay,
the
okay.
like that's
Okay.
something that was kind of like roaming around because you're obviously like not keeping your oracle abilities a secret. And so, yeah, I think that Ren would just feel like that was a super embellished rumor and that maybe you got like two questions right, but they were both C. So,
Everyone knows you go straight down the middle.
exactly. Deviate one or the other. If it's been too long, you just choose one.
That works. That works. We're back to Molly. Let's bounce over and talk about what Lenora knows about Tam. This other guy has been around the room a couple of times. You've seen him about. He's a couple years older than you. And what does Lenora hope to learn about Tam to manipulate them? This is always a weird question. I can roll again if you think this is a little too tricky.
Well, I don't know if it would necessarily be to manipulate them, but I think that I think that I have seen you, like you're like you like do the invisible thing and you're like always watching and like all that kind of stuff. I think that it's more so like when you go invisible, I know something's gonna happen to you, but I can't now find you. I know it's somewhere here and I know something's gonna happen. And I think it's more so like I need to figure out how to let him know that I need to know where he is at all times unless something happens. So it's more so like I'm going to be his friend and that way he will just tell me. He'll just tell me where he is all the time. So I think it's more so like trying to manipulate maybe like friendship on that part, but also by being just this weird underclassman that's just like, I don't know how to friendship, so I'm just going to tell you the bad things that are going to happen to you in hopes you'll be okay with that.
Yeah, I could see the premonition is you have a premonition of the top of the stairs, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And then Tam's at the bottom of the stairs, like all janked and and tumbled, and
or
you're like,
another student like trips or falls or something. I'm like, this guy is just causing me like a lot of problems. I'm running around all day after this invisible guy, and this is just like a lot for me. Okay.
It's hard to keep track of.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fair. Great.
Magical cat bell.
Let's see. Tam has also heard things about Arya. Why do people seek her out?
Ooh.
Where are they always tracking her down for things? Or what things are they tracking her down for?
Well, I think that the rumor may be that her family gets these things or is smugglers or whatever, and so people have it the misguided assumption that she can get you things you need, but you have to be on the inside. You've got to be inside the group, and so they would come to Tam to get to her, and he's just oblivious to that's what they're doing.
Okay, that's fair. That works. That's a good twist.
Love that.
Yeah, he kind of sneaks in there a little bit. Okay, let's see. Tiffany, let's talk about Arya. And what does she know about our reluctant bookworm? In particular, what scandal in the school was Ren involved in?
Oh, I think Ren was involved in that scandal a couple of years ago where the one professor's textbooks were all corrected. Like she went in and some teacher had done a text. No, this isn't right. This isn't right. I don't know. I'll come up with something better.
Okay.
Oh, maybe there were some. There was a couple of years ago. It was thought that some of the forbidden books went missing.
And reappeared with illustrations in the margins.
Well, no, the illustrations, that's a Lenora shtick. We're talking about Ren here.
Yeah, we're talking about Ren. No, she.
No,
she
I
might
know.
have
I'm
corrected
saying
it,
Ren
mostly.
is a secret artist. So that would be cute.
Okay, so what did we saw? Some scandal involving the forbidden section of the library?
Yeah, I think the forbidden section of the library. I think there was something with that forbidden section. Either a book was damaged, or maybe that's why they used to let people in, in certain situations, and now they've completely shut it down. I think Ren was involved in making that happen.
Okay. So NLK, let's see. Ren has had a chance to get to know Tam over the years. Let's find something positive that you know about each other. What about Tam makes Ren feel so safe?
Ooh.
Why does she feel the safest when she's around him?
I don't want to repeat the whole silence thing because that's very on character for her. So I want to give us something new. I think because we haven't mentioned it, she feels safe around him because up to this point, she doesn't think that he has ever used his invisibility for scandalous purposes.
Nefarious reasons.
Nefarious reasons. And she feels safe that he's not creeping into the girl's bathroom or something,
Yeah.
because she's never even heard a whiff of that. And she respects that about him.
He has that innocence of purpose. Why would you do that? That's just wrong. It's just a part of his being. I like that. Cool.
Okay, I'm going to ask it, and you can say next question. But I want to see if you want to field this one in, okay?
Okay.
Because the question is, how far along is Ren in her plan to get Tam expelled? I feel like if you have this really great bond going, it would be weird to throw in and she's secretly trying to get him kicked out. But
I mean, you do have the competitive.
I do, but I think with Tam, she doesn't feel threatened. That's the thing.
okay, then let's go with a different one then. Because I read that, I'm like,
sorry.
that could be really interesting, but it's like, man, I feel like it doesn't really fit the vibe you guys have going.
It doesn't mesh at all.
Yeah.
So,
That would have been a better one for me to have used since that she got somebody
Right.
expelled earlier.
Right.
we can add that.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Her competitive streak got the best of her with the
Well,
other
we have the scandal of books being moved out of the forbidden section for which another student was expelled.
Right. They showed up in somebody else's book bag.
So meanwhile, speaking of, Ren hurt Tam years ago. Why can't she apologize?
Do I have to go into how she hurt him, or just
Why can't she apologize? Now you could
Because
go
she knows-
into the details about it, but just
because she knows he's right? He was right.
That's great. Oh, so good.
she knows he was in the right. Those are sometimes the hardest apologies to make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Exactly, nerd girl. Thanks for popping by tonight, by the way. I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope things are going well for you. Okay, so who are we still missing entries from? I've got a couple left to fill in. Let's do Tiffany. We got to talk about Arya's point of view about this Ravenclaw bestie she's acquired. On the upside, what amazing secret have you learned about this person that you haven't told anyone else?
That her visions are pretty spot on and she doesn't realize. So I can use those.
So no one else really knows how good her visions are.
Yeah, like how accurate. And that's really rare to be that accurate.
Okay. Now, the downside. Let's see what we get on our negative list. 6. What rumor, either true or untrue, did this character start about you?
That she's my bestie. I
What
mean, look,
hurts is that she didn't even need to use the visions for that.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
That's brilliant. That's utterly brilliant. Okay, we hop over to NLK. You need to say something about our resident Slytherin. In particular, we've done that one. What strange record does she hold at the school?
Ooh.
There's a record she's broken. What is it?
The most ever spent at the like I'm imagining that there's like it's not the food hall, but there's like a sweet cart similar to like how there was at there. I'm gonna imagine that she holds the record of spending the most money, but then she never gave it to anybody else. Like she just bought out the entire sweet cart so no one else could have it, and then she just has all of it herself. It was a power move. It was a power move.
She bought the entire sweet cart
rock like that.
on the Hogwarts Express and shared none of it. Wow.
Harsh.
Yeah, it's gonna leave a
I
mark.
made so many friends that trip, let me tell you.
If that's too harsh, let me know. But I feel like that was
No, it's good. It's good. It could totally be like first year too, and she totally thought that was the way to come in.
Thank you, Shadow. Yes, the confectionery stand.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Gray. Let's also talk about that little Ravenclaw everyone seems to see bouncing around.
All right.
Let's see. Nope. We've already answered that one. Nope. Apparently we are doing that one. What is Lenora doing that threatens her family's reputation?
Oh.
You're getting a lot of these good assign mischief to everyone else questions.
All right. Her family?
Yep.
Lenore, do you come from a line of oracles, or is that your thing?
Yeah, I think it's like all the women in my family are like oracles of some type. But it's like varying degrees of good. Like one could only predict like the first day of spring when that actually was gonna be.
Right.
And then one could predict like lotto numbers, but like it's varying degrees, so
Hey, kiddo. Oh. Maybe something along the lines that they let a lot of things happen in the muggle world to protect the magic world. like they chose magic over muggle multiple times or something along those lines. Like, you know, they knew the Titanic was gonna sink, but they were like, we can't. If we let that happen, then this will occur in our realm. You know, is that too big? Something like that.
If you
That-
make it Lusitania, that
That
applies
makes
to like
my fear of the Blitz. Like if I had told my family, I'm like, don't worry about it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. If that's cool with you.
Yeah, I'm good with it. Because I am naive, so I do not understand why they do this.
I think you're muted, Rob.
I probably am. It's better than coughing into the mic. Yeah, I do that. Okay, so Molly, aka Lenore, you've got the last question. What do you know about Ren? In particular, what bad thing have you heard about Ren that you can't believe is true?
Ooh.
Now, the fun thing is you've heard it. It might not be true, but it might be.
What bad thing have I heard about Ren? I want it to be something about like the books in the library that she's up to.
Did it use her competitive streak?
Oh, yeah. So it could be like maybe I've heard a rumor that like it like right like it's a if I heard a rumor about her that's bad, maybe it's that that any like younger students that have come to her for help in the library, she purposefully turns to the wrong section or the wrong book in order to like confuse them or something. And so I'm a little like, no, she wouldn't. No, but maybe. But who knows? I don't know. Like as a younger student, I'm a little bit afraid of Ren for that.
That makes sense. That tracks. Okay, that's the backgrounds. We've got our setting laid in. We've got our year. We've got some interesting features. We've modified up our little bit of our Hogwarts with these rumors that German gremlins are infesting all of England, including Hogwarts itself. There's ice spiders potentially in the basements underneath the potions rooms. There's a large metal winged creature also in the dungeons. Lots of good gossip about each other. That should be fun. We have one ancient familiar. And 4 very fascinating students. They're about to get up to all kinds of wonderful shenanigans. We talked before we started about the way the mechanics work for skill checks as they come up. Spell checks work almost identically. You just say you describe it, and then I have a handy dandy set of charts here that I bookmarked that let me quickly calculate out your target number for spell casting. And for spell casting, you also roll a d4 with your spell. So you would roll your spell attribute plus a d4 plus relevant modifiers. So that will be how we get that number. And let me see if you hit your target or not. And the fun thing with the spell effects, it can be anything from natural to reality breaking. It can be instant to permanent. Most of you will be casting spells that you have either witnessed or you are inexperienced with, unless this is something that you can justify you've practiced. And the area of effect ranges from a book to a classroom. You decide. And then we pick a number based on that. And those are the mechanics. I would like to go refresh my tea. And then I think we should get down to the shenanigans of the evening. Is that agreeable for everybody? All right, if you're here hanging out, thanks for coming by for the first of 4 parts. Just getting started and telling the stories. From here, we'll start really getting into the actual plot. And then we'll see where this takes us this week. We'll see you back here in about 5 minutes.
Sorry.
The one that's between Chrysanthemum and her bottle.
Yes. Yes.
That's a dangerous place to be for many reasons.
Why am I here?
I legit have been screaming this entire time. So you know what? What is the health of
You're
everybody
also
right now?
full health. You want to like come
All right,
back and join
everyone's
the battle?
full health.
Like, no, we're not. The rest
All
of
right.
us are like highly injured. You're on
Yeah,
the
we're
outside
all
full
hurting
health. You wanna,
pretty
like,
bad.
The
help out a little
Jamboard
bit?
says that everybody's.
Oh, refresh.
Refresh
Never mind.
that. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Ember's alive because I just healed for 12. Show us that 12 out of 41.
You
You're
were
like
literally
farting
seeing
around
full
on the
health
outside of
this
the circle.
entire
Like,
time,
come
weren't you,
join
Anson?
me. I'm full health. Y'all.
Shadows didn't have a spot on the jam on the thing, and I was just like, oh, I don't know.
Oh, I think we broke the.
You're swinging again.
Oh man,
Wow,
this
this
guy.
guy's tough.
What's up with this guy?
He's
What? What? This doesn't happen. This doesn't happen. All right, we're going. Let's go.
Okay.
And followed by the smite. Come on, Timber. We got this.
I mean, if he doesn't go down now, I don't know.
And
but
he finally drops.
Yes.
And is out of the scrap. Gets to the guy in the... And that is that weird, sickly smell in the air.
Oh God.
Something like rotting meat.
Ew.
As we're walking, I'm like starting to like shake it off, and I'm just gonna say under my breath, she's just mad her mom never wanted her home for holidays either.
Wow, that's some Gossip Girl shit. Like,
Wow.
Anybody else smell that?
smells like salt.
Smells like
Not-
tea to me.
Not what I meant.
All right, if you didn't know that was one of our clips, that's going in there.
Oh, dearie me.
Having taken a holy order of some kind and other oaths.
I'm thinking like an elven, like really.
Kung Fu Elfin Monk?
Kung Fu Elfin Monk. Okay.
Yes, that meditates a lot.
I can live with that.
Because elves don't have to sleep as much, so it totally right.
As you seem to be doing really well with it.
Ooh, nat 20, so
Oh
25.
my God.
Jeez.
Nice. Scattered it.
Wow. Well, you can roll your damage. I don't
25. Because I got 3 6s.
Holy cow.
Oh my goodness.
She's hulked out. Rage hard.
Yeah, I think you should rage all the time. I think you
I
should
like this
never
rage,
not
yeah.
never
This
not be
is
raging.
it. Well,
There's
I get
where all our
2.
good rolls were hiding.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's why they were so bad earlier. We were saving up. But... Stop hitting my friends.
Oop, wrong
You're
way.
damage books with that kind of attitude.
Well played. Wow. He goes in, he does a few loops, he comes back out and beep.
Okay. Beep once if there's dead bodies in there. Beep twice. No, that doesn't work. All right, beep twice. No, that doesn't work. Okay, beep Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna see if I can sneak up. Like, see if I can sneak up and find a widow to kind of like. It's not really the sharpest tack in this box. David.
Jeez.
Boy, that sucks. Like, I feel bad for him. Like, hey.
I've never seen this before.
Unspeakable brutality.
Yeah, a little closer. Go to the right. Oh no, I dropped down. Oh no, I'm under us.
I think they're sinking.
Yeah, they're so.
Okay, drop the anchor so we can collect our stuff.
Special and like not forced or anything. It's brilliant. I think the quote I have in particular is actually came from chat, which was the spell slide into DMs, which then became a spell. That's just it's very endearing. So I love it.
I'm going to follow it up by saying that the reaction to receiving a message spell was an absolute, just as far as role play goes.
Do we have playbills nearby?
Sure.
Playbills are made of paper, right? And that's made of wood. Can I use shillelagh with a playbill? Is this technically made of the same stuff I would need, right?
What pulp?
I'll allow it.
All right.
Punch the. No, I know that's a bad idea.
There is so much nope surrounding this trap. I am not here for an amulet. I am here for a traumatized rogue. Let's get the fuck out of here. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's two.
Well, I wasn't really concerned about the amulet. I just thought that.
Oh no, that whole love interest thing. That's right. Oh, I forgot. I almost killed him.
I'm gonna go. Common, Mother Clucker, do you speak it? We need some information. I'm not sorry, by the way.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. Like, do we think it's gonna follow us?
Yeah,
I'm sure it will.
Run it. Yeah, I was gonna say, can we outrun it, or is it like something that's just gonna follow us no matter where we go?
I don't think we can outrun it. I mean, it's not going to come any closer for a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're gonna have to fight it.
We could take shelter in the smoldering ruins, right? Because
I don't know if that's gonna help.
We
It's
don't
probably
know
just-
what's in the smoldering ruins.
Well, it couldn't be any worse than this.
We could
Oh
come
yes,
across-
it could.
We could come across like another giant creature, and then we're fighting two at the same time. And then
But
it's
it could be like Godzilla versus King Kong. So if we run into something even nastier, maybe it won't want to eat us. It'll go after the other thing because they're legends and they have to fight. That's how that works.
No, or they team up against us.
You had a very fortunate life, haven't you?
But there's a way to check if you really want to know. I'm intrigued. Cut your hand. Bleed in front of her.
Got it.
I mean, but if she's
Yeah, I didn't think I'd do it. I so did it. Smell it?
But like, she could not necessarily
So
be a
positive right there.
vampire.
Well, you're
She'd be,
saying
like,
that she is a vampire, so.
Or she's like possessed by one, or like
cutting her hand open,
or like the
in the middle
leader.
of Strahd's domain.
Wait, her
Sounds
hand or
like-
my
not
hand? I
hers,
just cut
not
my hand
hers.
open.
Not
Sounds
hers.
like a
James.
fantastic idea.
I
Oh,
didn't have to cut my hand open. We need to cut her hand open.
oh.
No, no.
Come here, girl. Come on.
no, you
I'm
mean to
already
say-
bleeding.
James just like waving his bloody hand in
Like, come
Irina's
on.
face. Maybe re-roll. Yeah.
Okay, so we're back. We've laid the foundation for the story we have. We have 4 somewhat disconnected, somewhat academically minded, kind of antisocial people that somehow have gravitated together into this little cluster of folks. If we're in the late fall of 39, bright Saturday morning, crystal clear blue skies, the grounds are abuzz, is the first Quidditch match of the season. Gryffindor versus Hufflepuff. Just to give you all a break. What's everyone up to? What would each of you be doing on that fine Saturday morning? What mischief would you find? Or are you following the crowd as one does out to the pitch?
I'm definitely tagging along with Arya.
Go out to the pitch.
So you're inserting yourself into the gaggle of well, question. Is Arya walking by herself, or is she walking with the rest of her house?
Oh no, there's going to be some other house members around.
And random Ravenclaw pops up?
I think it's
I think
pretty
they're pretty
common
used
now.
to her
Yeah.
now.
Hey guys, wait up! kind of deal.
Hi, Lenora.
Hi, Arya. How are you?
Oh, fine.
Good. I didn't get any premonitions about anything bad happening to you today, so I thought you'd be okay, but I just wanted to come check in.
That is very sweet of you. Isn't she sweet, ladies?
All the other girls
Yeah,
around you all kind of have that look of, I don't know how you put up with her.
Just
it
beaming.
is important to have skills to deal with everything that life throws at you. Because you never know when it's going to be an advantage. I mean, Lenora look at that scarf. Isn't it fantastic? She wears it really well. Brings out her cat's eyes.
Have you seen Toulouse, by the way? I haven't seen him in a while.
No, I haven't seen. Is he usually up this early?
I honestly, it's a rarity nowadays. I see him sometimes, and then like someone walks by and he like disappears. He's just kind of around, but I never know really where he is.
He's a interesting familiar. Less your familiar and more your his familiar. Have you ever thought about that? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay. To the back.
Sure.
That's where the good spots are.
So is Lenora actually going to go sit in the Ravenclaw section? Or sorry, in the Slytherin section?
Slytherin?
Oh yeah, 1000%.
So there's all the green, and there's the one with the... Okay.
It's okay. She has a green scarf. She's with me. You'll be fine, Lenora. Don't worry about it.
It's her green
I
card.
wasn't.
We talked about Toulouse, and one of my cats wandered in, rubbed against my legs, and wandered out again. I'm like,
Meanwhile,
yeah, I'm gonna talk to other Slytherins, and every once in a while, like, include her.
I'm just happy to be here, kind of deal. Like I'm just sitting, very just happy to be here.
You put yourself down, and another one of the Ravenclaw girls looks over her shoulder. Or sorry, Slytherin girls. I gotta get my head straight. Hang on, brain fog. Brain fog.
It's gonna be a lot.
That's like that all day today. I taught how to do identity proofs in pre-calculus today. I am so sorry to all of you that I burned all my good brain cells between the hours of 7 and 2. I have a few more left.
None of that was English, by the way. As an art major, I understood none of what that.
Well, you should.
Oh no, 4 art majors.
You
No.
should have been here for the TED Talk on the convergence. That was real. I don't think I've
that
seen
TED Talk.
eyes that glazed over ever, and I teach high school. Oh,
And pre-calculus, where you do things like that.
okay. So, one of the other Slytherin girls kind of turns around and looks. Are we really going to have her here again? Why don't
Yeah, don't worry about it.
why
Don't
don't,
worry about it.
why don't you sit with her in their section?
You would not know what to do if I went and sat in their section.
Actually, Arya, I did have kind of like a vision that they are going to be scoring goals, and the Ravenclaw, the Gryffindor is going to win, and like that goal post is a lot closer to the Ravenclaw area, so we would have better seats over there. But I am willing to do whatever you would like to do. If you would like to sit here, we could sit here.
Okay, I just have one question.
Yeah.
Do we get a better view of the one beater? Because he's hot.
Yeah, he's also, yeah, he's over.
Okay.
He's the, yeah.
Okay. You know what? You're right. I'm going to go sit in the fun section. When you guys learn to be fun again, I'll come back. And we'll go over to the Ravenclaw.
So meanwhile,
Not sure I can play this not like a mean girl. I'm sorry.
moment here, the headmaster is slightly gobsmacked by that exchange. Meanwhile, what exactly are the two introverts up to?
I want to say, and just on Tam's perspective, it's all of a sudden he like realizes, oh, this is where we are, and why are all the people coming here? It was quiet and cool a little bit ago, but like people are filing in now. Like they were sitting like at the top of the bleachers, you know, a book in lap, or you know, imagining clouds, trying to make clouds shape into shapes he wants.
So Tam had picked the top of the Ravenclaw bleachers at the Quidditch pitch as his quiet place to study on game day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That tracks. That absolutely tracks. And what is Ren up to? Is Ren taking in the festivities?
So Ren, I think I'm trying to remember. Please forgive any Harry Potter fans. Please forgive me, but I do remember at one point there is a Quidditch game where Harry, chasing the snitch, gets like into the Whomping Willow. So I feel like the Whomping Willow is close to the pitch, but since it's the whimsical willow now?
Is, yes, it hasn't turned dark yet.
So I think Ren has climbed the whimsical willow, and she is perched on one of its taller branches, like looking out to the Quidditch pitch. Oh my God. Okay. So she's like, oh man, I'm revealing too much about myself right now. But she is standing there and she's like adjusting to herself to be like, if any of the players see me, they're going to wonder who that mysterious girl is that's so aloof on the tree. But they'll never know. Like, so yeah, she's watching it, but she's really far away.
I really feel like she's read so many fanfics at this point that
It's
she's
just like,
trying
it's
to
mess.
make it reality.
Yes, it is
Trying to
messed
get it in her
with
head.
sense of reality, and so it is just a bunch
I must
of
plan this meet cute.
I must
in
plan
this
the
tree.
meet
Yeah.
cute because, of course, she can't give up control of it, so she still has to control the situation.
Rob, how many flashbacks to your regular day are we giving you?
I'm 15, okay?
I have tea.
I feel like I just got a vision of
I
a
love it so
branch
much.
breaking, but I don't know what it means.
Okay, all right, that's totally fair.
I figured out how we all get together and start doing stuff. We're just gonna be.
Well,
hormonal,
we've got
apparently.
3 out of the 4 of you are all in the same bleachers now. So we got that part covered.
I think I've definitely led us like right over to Tam. Like right next to Tam. And like sat down. Hi, Tam.
Hey, I was just trying to figure out how to get out of here. And they're all filling in, so there's like no way for him to get down out of the stands. So he's kind of resolved to just sit there.
I'm gonna put my arm through his arm. Now, Tam, why would you want to leave? It's a gorgeous day, and you are gonna see one of the better teams play. I mean, it's not the best teams playing today, but you gotta start out slowly. Sorry, Lenore, it really is a good team, but gotta vote for your house.
And again, he gets that. I understood none of that. There's a sport thing, and
Okay. You have been here way too long to not know how to enjoy Quidditch. So I'm going to proceed to tell you everything you need to know about it. And it's going to sound a lot like, well, wah, 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 wah. Ooh, goal. Wah, wah.
I think this is the point where I lean into Tam and I go, just smile and nod and cheer.
And that's what he's doing.
No,
really happy.
Lenore, it's very important he understands this. This is gonna help you, Tam. You're always shy about talking to people. If you just ask them what they thought about the Quidditch match today, they'll talk at you. You nod every once in a while and go, oh, really? I missed that play. You're fine.
Missed that play. Fine.
Right. Exciting game. Just remember those. What did you think about the Quidditch match? Oh, wow. I missed that play. That was amazing.
Amazing. Got it.
Oh,
Now,
I have
Pick it
to
up
go
a little
find...
bit every time and you'll be fine.
I think I need to go find Ren because I think she's going to get hit in the head with a Quidditch ball in about 30 minutes, give or take. I feel like I should go find her. Yep. Just gonna stand up and just try to shuffle around the people who are filing in.
Somehow Lenora can do it. Actually,
we say we're at the top.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shuffling.
So like Tam looks back, and there we get that look of Lenore, doing the pose thing in the tree.
Ren, yeah.
Ren's doing the pose.
Ren, Ren, and he goes to point to tell you that she's right there over in the tree, but you're already like somehow magically moving between people.
I'm not staying here. If leaving, I was promised a good view.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, can I let's roll some dice really quick? Lenore, what exactly is your flight? Roll your flight. What do you think is a fair? Wait, how hard do you think it is to fight against the crowd?
I don't. If it's really flooding in, probably hard, right? I don't know.
Okay.
I have a D12 for this.
All right.
Well, are they still loading in, or are they mostly?
Yeah, I don't know how long it took us to get from.
Let's assume they're mostly in.
Okay, I rolled a 7. And I don't add anything, right? I don't have a plus to that.
Okay.
No. Okay.
So likely for those that aren't skilled, but we'll call that a success.
Okay.
As you kind of work your way through the crowd and make your way down across the pitch. It's not that far to get to the Whimsical Willow. And all of you can look out behind you and you can see there goes Lenora kind of out alone across the open fields. And you're almost sure you can see her cat. And it's totally messing with something behind a rock. Like you're not sure what, but it's like its haunches are up and it's hissing. And it's like really like set its territory. And then Lenora walks right past it without noticing. And it kind of just goes, oh, there she is. And turns and falls in behind her. So whatever had its dander up, it has now decided it's not worth it. And unless
are they like fluffy and huge, or are they like?
I'm picturing a cat that's
or...
probably about 10 pounds, but looks like it's 40 because of how much poof it has.
But it's also super old, so it's like the clumped poof. Like it's not the nice poofy. It's like the clumps of poof.
That's awesome.
I had that cat. That's
Yes.
where like the cheekbones have hollowed out a little bit, ready to find
Yeah.
they look like an old and.
So unless something interesting happens, I don't see there being any discrepancy, troubles getting to the tree.
I didn't notice Toulouse at all.
Not
be
offhand.
weird.
You've kind of, I would assume you've been focused more on
Yeah.
making sure that you get Ren out of the tree before the branch breaks.
Oh yeah. Hey Ren. You look great. Hey Ren, you're gonna get hit in the head with a Quidditch ball. And it'd be very dangerous for you to fall from that height. So perhaps a lower branch or maybe ground level? You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Which ball? Like the beaters or like the quaffle,
like that big one. Like the one the size of your head will hit you in your head.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I saw the nose, so maybe.
All right. She'll climb down.
Yeah. Okay.
She'll actually fully come down out of the tree. It's not like it was working anyway.
I think it would have, because they would have for sure seen it hit your face.
I know, that was what I was thinking, but at the same time,
it didn't look good.
Yeah, and I don't have time to go to the nurse and get my nose fixed. So
yeah. But I ran into Tam and we could watch from up there, or if you wanted to go somewhere else too, but maybe not in the tree.
I guess we can go. Is Arya there too?
Yeah. She's great.
Okay. All right, fine. It's fine. Let me just grab my book bag.
Okay.
It's behind the tree.
Oh, he's gone.
There's actually a branch comes around the tree with your book bag hanging on it.
Such a gentleman.
So you can, be on your way. And eventually you all make it back to the pitch. The game is definitely going into Gryffindor's favor. Briefly. Then Hufflepuff puts up a bunch of points. And there's actually rumors starting to circulate around that the Hufflepuff Seeker is going to go after the snitch just to end the game. And that's when you all see it happen. Remember that hot Hufflepuff guy that you really wanted a good view at? The one that hardly anybody gets to talk to because he's got that cousin he's always leading around and keeping everyone kind of at bay about, being really secretive of, which only makes him all the more interesting because really not a lot of you know him that well. You didn't talk to him much last year. Yeah. He makes a drive right at the goals and gets nailed with one of the bludgers. And not just nailed, off the broom and out of the pitch nailed. And disappears from sight. Which, per rules, the game doesn't stop. And it's not long before Gryffindor is back in the lead. Wow. Go for it.
Should we go check on him? Maybe?
Isn't that the professor's job?
Did anybody go over it? Did any of the professors look like they were going over to find him?
You wouldn't have seen from where you were.
And Tam wouldn't know that anyway. That's why he asked.
Oh, that is so unfortunate to happen. He's such a good player.
Surprisingly, I did not see that coming.
Well, you don't want to use all of your visions all the time,
Oh, they're random. I
You gotta
can't
let some
control it at
mystery
all.
contain. Let's go see if he's okay. Nobody else seems like they're going, and this is dull.
Maybe his cousin's there with him. This would be a great story. Let's go.
Are you okay, Ren? All right, let's.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Let's go.
Need a moment. Okay. You're not after the cousin, are you? You're after him, right? I mean, he's cute. He's got a great butt.
But him and his cousin though.
I don't know. Is the cousin cute? I guess I haven't paid that much attention to him. I don't know. I didn't know you had good taste. I mean,
well, Arya, there might be a lot of things that you don't know. Just saying.
Yeah, but do they matter? I mean, we're still walking. And,
Sometimes I wish I knew less. Does that count?
Definitely, dear. Definitely.
Okay.
But you know that some of the stuff that you know makes you so interesting. You are never dull, Lenora. Never. You're always fascinating to have around.
Thanks. Isn't she great, guys?
I give Tam just like sidelong glance. And just kind of roll my eyes.
And Tam's got a notebook out, and the current notes are positive male anatomy. Take note when we get to cousin. Is cousin attractive? Cute butt, not cousin. He's like taking notes because he's like trying to figure out these people.
Anthony, are you trying to figure out girls?
Oh,
it's got to be an equation, right?
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was
No.
character. Taking a break from watching the game, you head on down, make your way over to that area past the pitch. There are teachers on scene, and they do have the Hufflepuff on a stretcher, and they're in the process of. It looks like they're going to be taking him up to the castle proper in a few moments. He's not moving, and you can see where you don't actually see where his broom is. But you do remember he went off it, so the broom went one way and he went the other.
Yeah, the other.
Yeah, the other and then the other. Yes,
Yeah.
There was a separation of broom and player, the like of which you actually haven't seen at a Quidditch match yet.
this is odd too, because is he like a good player? Like, what is that? Does this feel like someone maybe messed with him, or?
You're welcome to pursue that.
Lenora.
Yeah.
Did he hit something? I mean, physically, I'm trying to remember. Or
He
did
was hit
just
by the ball, wasn't he? He
Yeah.
got clocked, right?
Oh, that's right. He
Yeah,
got clocked.
blindsided by the bludger, which was a rather unfortunate turn. Well, one of the professors. Who's the potions master? Somebody give me a name.
You could make up a name and
Yep.
I'd be totally happy.
That's what I
with
mean.
that.
Somebody give me a name real quick.
Snifflebottom.
What?
Snifflebottom. He got into potions making because he always had a stuffed sinus.
So sniffle bottom.
You did say sniffle.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I did not hear. I did not hear the
I didn't
sniff
hear that
part.
either.
Not hear that.
Oh,
at all.
sorry.
No one heard that.
Yeah.
I'm trying
No
really
S.
hard to figure out what you guys heard.
Yep.
We're not putting I'm not making us put the 18 on, I promise.
Yes, Shadow. That is indeed.
That is
what I heard
exactly
as
what I
well.
heard.
Okay, Professor Snifflebottom.
Yep.
Quite a lot. Sorry. I mean, there's part of me that wishes I had said that now, but.
Oh, that's funny.
Who was this incredibly he's a massively tall but incredibly slender man. Like that 6'6", 6'8", but maybe 95 pounds kind of guy. And he just looks at you. Should go back to the game. There's nothing to see here. He'll be in the hospital wing for some time if he's not sent home. He's not dead. Hasn't happened in a Hogwarts Quidditch match for about 13 years. So you can go on back.
Is his cousin there?
Uh,
The one that like never leaves his side?
yeah, you can spot her.
Oh.
She looks mostly like she's not sure what to do. You can see she's kind of looking around back and forth. She's got short, blonde, curly hair and these dark eyes. And her robes don't fit her well. And they look secondhand, if that. You kind of remember her from the sorting ceremony. The thing that sticks out the most in your minds is how long she was under the hat before she was sorted into Hufflepuff. There was a lot of... You could see in her face just a lot of terror during that experience. And Arya might not have had the experience of, what if the hat doesn't sort me into a house? But if any of the rest of you did, you know the look. And she looks mostly concerned about what to do, and then sort of just starts to follow the two nurses up towards the castle. You also realize it's been about 2 months, and you've never actually talked to her. She's kind of kept to herself over with the Hufflepuffs at the tables during meals, and seems to either be walked to class by her cousin Christian, who is now on a stretcher, or just hiding somewhere on her own.
What's her name again?
Petra.
Petra?
You've heard.
Seeing her consternation or whatever, Tam will just blurt out, is your cousin okay? Is there anything we can do?
She starts with a bit, surprised that she's being talked to almost. And she kind of turns and looks. And then she sort of just shrugs. But she doesn't offer anything back yet.
They won't let you in there. Why don't you hang out with us? And then Tam realizes that he's talking way too loud. and that the words are just coming out of his mouth.
She kind of looks at the nurses and looks back at you and then points at you. And Professor Snifflebottom will observe this exchange and come over towards the lot, closer to Tam. He's not wrong, young lady. You should, Miss Weintraub, you should join them at the pitch. You may sit with the Ravenclaws if you would prefer.
We can help you find your cousin's broom, right? I don't see it anywhere down here. I'm sure he'll want it back.
An excellent project if you don't want to watch the conclusion of the game.
No, we already know who's gonna win, so
Yeah.
not really much point.
Little Birch didn't spoil it, did she?
Is it spoiling if you have the information already?
Yeah. I've learned that.
And who wins?
Oh, we wouldn't want to
Gryffindor.
spoil it for you.
Well,
Professor.
you'll save me the trouble of figuring out how much I owe.
Now, Professor Snifflebottom, that's always part of the charm, or you wouldn't actually bet. Engage in chatting with the other professors in a competitive and yet fun way. Look, I think the broom might have gone over that way. Come on, Petra, let's go see if we can find your cousin's broom. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's like a little treasure hunt. Bye, Professor Snifflebottom. Thank you so much. We'll go check on her cousin in a little bit. Thank you. I'm just going to drag her away. Shoop, shoop, shoop.
Is she going the right way?
Probably not. I'm just going away from him.
And you still didn't tell him who wins the game. I'm going to remember that when you have your potions quiz later. It's going to come up.
If Arya tells me not to do something, I don't do it.
The potions master having a grudge? Never.
Yeah.
Oh, Lenora, you don't want to tell them that, because if you once tell them who's going to win something, they are never going to leave you alone.
I know my mom had to tell my dad something similar.
Yeah. It's just so... Plus, it's kind of fun to watch them try and guess. And then they'll try and make you tell them. And then they'll try and bribe you. And that's a whole other... That's like a whole level of power you have never gotten into yet. Like, you stick with me and I'll help you out. Okay.
Maybe someday someone will create, he's like taking notes, a thing, visual harmonic system or something, VHS, maybe you could record a game. You could watch a game later.
Well, we've got those
Watch it
crystals, so you
later.
can watch it later. Remember, they do it. Use it for the highlights.
I already
You
watch
really-
things twice sometimes, and that's twice too many.
But no, Tim,
And he
I
starts
like your
scratching.
idea. Maybe there's a way to do it on like recall, like exactly when you want it, you know? Because the crystals can be a little iffy sometimes.
Like on demand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That sounds too complicated.
You know, pretty soon you guys are gonna link up a bunch of crystals and have like watch parties and stuff, and it's just crazy.
Oh, why would you want to do that?
I don't know.
Isn't this
Why would you
technically
wanna watch
we're all watching the game and it's a party? Isn't that what this
Eventually, don't you think that
No,
that would
this is called
eventually
watching the
turn into
game.
somebody, just multiple people watching one person doing nothing, like just talking? That sounds so odd.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I can't even that why? Why?
I don't know, but I just could see it happening.
I'm sorry, nobody is that cute. They just start. I mean, I am, but nobody is.
I think Muggles would monetize it.
Well, Muggles
They
monetize
monetize
everything.
Jinx, almost.
Nah.
And where is this broom?
I think it went that way. So
Petra, how are you doing?
Right.
She kind of shrugs. And then she points as you come up over a rise, and you can see the tail of a broom a little further down the hill.
Good spotting.
She smiles. And then you
Gotta be a retrieval spell. Let's see.
you head down
Oh, you
the...
can't like climb down?
No, just over the rise. Just down the hill a bit. And as you get down there, you notice it's actually the bottom half of the broom is stuck in the ground. So when you pull it out, it's just the bottom half, and you look further up, there's the front half. About another probably 30 feet ahead.
Oh, maybe they can fix this.
This is really gonna affect his Quidditch playing.
Yes, brooms don't really do well being mended like this. This will take someone whose expertise is in broom mending.
Yeah, I think all they've really got is that spello tape, and it just doesn't really work.
It works for a little while, but especially if you're wanting to do Quidditch maneuvers, it seems will not be safe.
So where are you thinking you should head with young Petra? Now that you've got her out of the Quidditch area.
Probably gonna take a little bit of time for your cousin. Do you want to walk a little bit? Maybe go check out the lake and rest for a little bit? Oh, do you explore the grounds much?
She shakes her head.
Oh, we should take you around. I mean, just while we're waiting for your
Must we?
cousin to get better. Well, she's never been.
But maybe she
And-
doesn't want to.
Oh, you just don't know what you're missing out. Besides, what are you gonna do? Go sit by your cousin and just worry about him? Let's see if we can make it a little better for you for a little bit. No, and then we'll take you back and make sure that you are able to get to him and see that he's okay.
She nods.
You have to explore the grounds.
She nods a couple of times and lets you take the lead. So where exactly are you heading?
Okay. Well, first, Petra, I don't think we've introduced ourselves. I'm Aria. It's nice to meet you. It's Lenora, Ren, Tamsin, Tam. Very quiet, knows where all the books are, sees things that are super cool. Looks great in that green scarf I gave her. Petra, this is everybody.
She smiles and makes a little wave and then has this long hesitation where she goes, Guten Tagen. Ihr Fruit Sie zu Tiffen? Petra?
Do you speak much English? Or
Not
are you
that
learning
much.
it since you're here?
Yeah.
We see the whole magic symbols flying around Tam's head, like, and the red string in the board. And German, goblins. Yeah, so yeah, he's overwhelmed with like, you know, at the moment.
She
I don't
picks
think
up. She picks up and then kind of like takes a step closer to Aria, and then she kind of looks at the green of the robes and takes a step back towards Ren.
Oh, the robes. I just make Slytherin look good. Come on, let's. Have you been to the stone circle thing? Really cool. Great place to sit and avoid studying. I mean, study.
No.
Also, some of the cute boys go there.
So why are we going there?
Well, you've never seen it. And Ren would like to see if there's cute boys.
Okay. And you head off towards the Standing Stones.
And about halfway there,
go for it.
Tam kind of like, you know, the equation goes together in his head, and he just blurts out, and there might be German gremlins you could talk to. And he just kind of trails off.
German gremlins? Tam, what are you talking about?
I think German gremlins have invaded Hogwarts. And then he pulls out a notebook and it's like pages of just notes, you know.
Where have you seen them?
And how do you know that they're
Everywhere.
German? Couldn't they just be normal gremlins? Do you speak Gremlin?
I don't think that. No, I think.
Or
they're-
German.
I'm trying, and and he thinks back to, he did put a German book under his pillow, but then it was a cookbook, so it's all like, you know, sauerkraut and
Strudel.
Strudel
is the only German he could think of at the time. So yeah, I think it's part of the war effort. I think that German. And then he kind of finally puts it together. Oh wait, you're German, and the bad guys are Germans. He's just, you know, he doesn't realize that he just kind of like, meh, he called her out. And yeah, because again, blunt. And so
I think, Tam, it might be all right. Maybe we'll keep an eye out for gremlins. How about that?
Okay.
Petra watches this conversation unfold and just starts to creep back towards the castle.
Well, I mean, I saw that coming and I didn't even see that coming.
Petra, you have nothing to fear. Well, I say that. You may have something to fear with this one, pointing at Aria.
No, she's great, guys.
And if you play your cards right.
But it doesn't
That
matter
are
where.
useful, not like that.
What's your favorite food from home? It suddenly Dan blurts out because he's trying so hard to be nice now.
Wish I could pronounce half of those.
Always go with schnitzel. It's safe.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with yeah. She'll pause. It's my father's schnitzel.
And he'll like bring he turns his like the inside voice he remembers to use like church voice kind of thing back at home, and he's like, oh, and then he starts like listing a recipe for it and stuff in German because it's all he can remember.
She blinks as he lapses into German. Give me a brains check.
Sure.
Now, what's the context for him being able to recite a German recipe in German again?
So he's just trying to make her feel comfortable.
Okay.
And it's his way of saying sorry that I basically said, you're here to destroy, England. It's basically, so he's trying to apologize.
Okay, and what's his background with German recipes? To provide context.
He used the osmosis spell that he knows.
Ah, that's right.
And it went through the pillow into his brain, but he wanted to learn German to hunt the German gremlins, but he used a cookbook.
So he speaks German cuisine, not German.
Exactly.
Got it.
That explains the little meat pies he keeps leaving out as bait.
Okay.
Good bait.
I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10.
An 8. Sorry.
An 8.
I rolled a D10 and I got an 8.
Got an 8. Okay. Yeah, you start to spill out German. Those are German words. and she kind of nods a little bit, and then she looks absolutely scandalized. And then she kind of like calms herself. Bitte, that is not the way to talk about my mother.
Damn, what did you say?
Petra, what did he say?
I would prefer not to repeat it.
And
damn, you naughty.
I think it is honest mistake.
Yeah, anime blushing.
My mother was a very nice woman.
I think maybe would you like to go get some flowers from this area, and then we could bring them to your brother, and then you can leave them there at his bedside table for when he gets up? And we can help you with that?
We could do that.
Does that sound nice?
Danke.
I'm sorry, none of us really know German. Can I do some type of like a translation spell or something?
You could totally try it.
Sure, okay.
So, tell me about this spell you're about to cast.
Just like something for us to understand what she says, and her to understand us.
This could happen, I'm guessing. How long do you want it to last?
Like an hour? I don't think it's going to take long to pick flowers and walk back.
So it could happen, so it's unnatural, because none of you naturally can speak languages. But you could. It'll last an hour. It's going to affect one. Is it affecting all 4 of you or one of you?
I think it would be easier if I just did one.
Okay. But you said if we planned ahead and we all put something into the pool, does that mean it can affect all of us? Or is that not how that works?
Well, you can all spend your adversity tokens to help her figure it out.
Don't spend your adversity tokens on this. Because I was thinking this could be like a brains roll, and that's my
this is a
that's
brain
my
spell.
best roll.
Make
So
her speak English.
Oh yeah, can I make it
Easier
so
than-
she understands English?
Okay, so let me just back
That's
this.
a lot
let me,
better.
Let me back this train up a second.
Yeah.
Her cousin's been beat and sent to the hospital wing.
Yep.
She clearly is not comfortable around any other students. You've
Right.
attached yourselves to her.
Yep.
Someone just insulted her mother in German.
Accidentally.
And you're going
yep.
to take out your wand and point it at her.
No, I mean, I'm just gonna say.
I'm just
do you
confirming
want...
that's the plan.
I'm not gonna just throw my wand in her face. I'm just gonna say, do you mind? Do you want it so that this doesn't happen again? Translation.
She's wondering if you'd like to
I
speak
know that one.
English.
Spreckensy English. Huh?
She's going to let you go for it.
Okay.
Okay. So 3, 6.
And I have the magic button, so do I just add a +1 to this?
8. You've never pulled off something like this before. So 13. I don't even know what that magic button does. So if you have a math rock, I'd roll you.
It's part of my wand.
Yeah.
So do I add a +1 to that?
You'll get a +1 from that. And then you also
Okay.
roll, so you would roll your math rock for your ability plus a d4.
Oh, okay. I rolled a 13 on the dice.
Ooh.
And then I do a D4.
Yep. To add to that.
2. So a 15.
15. Not bad. Okay, cool. You whip your wand out and you spin it a few times around and do a couple of quick crosses, and you kind of draw a book in the air, and there's a moment where her eyes kind of like glaze over, and for the briefest of second you wonder if you fried her brain.
Oh, Petra,
And then she kind of blinks a few times.
you okay?
Yeah?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you speak it back?
Yeah.
Great! Let's go get flowers.
Which is more indicative if you were asking more than yes or no questions.
That's, you know what? That's a fair point.
As you start to make your way towards the... Where are you going to pick the flowers? Are you heading off to the stone circle?
Yeah.
Yeah, wherever Arya was taking us, I assume there's got to be a flower there.
As you start to head that direction, you notice a group of older Hufflepuffs. No. Gryffindors are coming this way. One of them points at your group. She hasn't been initiated properly to Hogwarts. Now she doesn't have that big old cousin to stop us from a proper welcome.
We've already welcomed her, so it's okay.
Yeah, no, she's with us. You're fine.
Oh no, you guys are going to scatter. Because again, all the new first years have to have a chance to meet the Gryffindors.
Yeah.
What makes you so special again?
The fact that we're going to find out how that conversation ends next week.
No!
I love how the Gryffindors are evil.
I know! I love it!
They're not
It's like
evil,
they
they're
are real
cocky.
a-holes.
They're
Like
cocky.
to the rest of the thing.
Not
like,
with that.
to
That's
everyone
evil.
else.
They're cocky.
Hey,
Yeah,
if
they're
you think
like, "We're the
about it,
best,
if
we're
you
the
think
most
about it, that they were bullies sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
And Shadow, I do apologize. My German accent ain't as great as it could be. And yes, I was whipping out the Google Translate a couple times. I'm like, I know more phrases. I can't remember them. I haven't had to write this character in like 15 years.
Oh, wow.
So there's a whole backstory to this, which I'll share some other time. But it is 10 o'clock, and I am not going to risk us running any later than 10 tonight because I need to sleep. Possibly write sub-plans for tomorrow. So we'll do a round of the table as we kind of wind down the evening, which has been a lot of fun. I really do dig this system and the setting. It's really fun. I hope we get to play some more with the mechanics next time. We're going to start with Tiffany. Who are you? Who were you? And a star moment of the evening.
Hi, I'm Tiffany, and I was Arya Tenebris. And star moment. Oh, I don't know. I like the interactions have been great, but maybe the conversation with Ren and Lenora with the whole like, you're gonna need to come out of the tree now. You really, yeah, it's a bad place to be. But no, but I'm posed. You know? That was a good one.
NLK?
I am NLK or Night Late Night. But tonight I played Ren. I just really enjoyed the like creating the lore for everyone. I know that we didn't really get to play for very long, but I think as we like settle into the characters a little bit more next time, I think, and we have like a little more time to explore that, I'm really excited. But I loved like having to just kind of be like, all right, this is part of their lore now. Got to figure out how that works into the characters. So I really enjoyed that.
Cool. Graybeard?
Graybeard of Graybeard's Tavern, and I can take these off. I get this hair out of my face. Yeah, I think that the conversations, the putting ourselves in the like teen mindset, I really liked the way how do you say Aria? She's just like, boys, cute, gotta, and then the whole thing with the posing in the tree from the bookworm was beautiful. It just was like such a record scratch reality check that yes, they're a 15-year-old girl, even though they're this bookworm person, they have these, you know, fantasies and desires and stuff. So yeah, that was good. I appreciated that.
And Molly?
A lot of what everyone said, obviously. I too was going to bring up the posing in the tree because it was incredible. But also I just really liked like the dynamic of everybody, and like that the hot guy, you specifically chose the hot guy as the one to get hit in the head and like fall to his doom. It was like, that's beautiful. Of course we're interested in the hot guy. It's 3 teenage girls and we're dragging Tam with us. Of course we're interested in the hot guy.
Tam's like, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think he knows why he's with you.
Girls talk to me. I don't. The formula works.
I think maybe he's like Demi or Ace or something. He's just, you know, that's just not part of his reality quite yet. You know, his head's in the clouds still. So it's really good that this is his friend group who like bring him along. So
that sounds absolutely right, and it makes for a neat character concept too. Because at that age, it's not uncommon to be like, I don't know what's going on. And so that makes a really fun dynamic. And I'm Rob, a.k.a. Lantern Noir. I'm here all the time. If you're here watching us, my next scheduled stream is Saturday morning, where I'm going to be just occupying time because we don't have a Bitter Victory this week, because not only is Pond absent from the Convergence, she's absent from the Bitter Victory. So we have double weeks off. And I think I think the Zoom hiccup when we named the potions professor, because I think what happened, I think Zoom had a hiccup at the absolute worst possible moment, which is why everybody heard something that was not intended.
Oh, meant to be.
And that was definitely in the old challenging category. But it was a lot of fun. I do Hunger Games, the TTRPG for Saturday. No. I have opinions about that series. I'm not sharing them now because we're all in a good mood and I'm tired. So we're not going to do that. We do have to find a place to go. It looks like, let's see, on a Wednesday night, we have a couple of choices. I think we're going to go, because it is May the 4th, I do have a friend who is playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. it feels appropriate that we send you off to hang out with him. May the Force be with you. And if you're old school, also with you. If you're new school, and Obi-Wan's spirit with you, because they've changed things. So thanks for coming out tonight. It was a lot of fun. We will see you all here next time. Next week, we will finish as much of the story as we can finish in a 2-session thing. Who knows? Maybe they will find the full story behind Petra and Christian. See you then.